What up, fam? It's me, Sam. That rhymed. I'm a poet, and I'm the best. I'm just wanting to come up at the top of the episode to talk to you about a little bit of a change in plans that you may hear at the end of the episode, because of course Alessio, Isaac are going to be in town with me in Seattle on Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to be doing a little meetup for people that are in the area or who can make the trip. May 25th, that Saturday at 9. And in this episode, I very boldly state the location of the place where we are going to be having the gathering, and that is not at the place itself I went to, and it's very small. It's a decent place, but it is very small. So we're not going to go there. Next week, you'll see that I make the same declaration at the beginning of this the episode. And it's just a big old nasty disaster. So the place we're going to be having the event is Spin Seattle. That is a pretty dope ping pong bar. It's 1511 6th Avenue in Seattle. And it's going to be from 9 to 11 on the 25th of May. You knew that because it's like not April anymore, so whatever. But yeah, check it out. Go to facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays. The event is on there if you'd want to RSVP. And just come out and enjoy time with us, and remember to don't bring a knife. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the episode. Bye.
No more use for me, huh?
Hey, C, it's me. I'm here to get you out.
Sam?
Do they do something to your eyes?
No, it's... While we were pushing off our Phantom Pain coverage, I got really into X-Men, and well, I got 18 rounds of LASIK to try and become Cyclops.
Well, it looks like you might need these. While we were trying to do anything but play Phantom Pain, I traveled the world and bought a pair of kitschy sunglasses from every country in the world. Did you know they have a sunglass hut in Antarctica?
Whoa, that's a fun fact. Anyway, what took you so long?
I tried to research the exact route Forrest Gump took on his trek across the country, and I got really lost. You know how many times you can watch Forrest Gump in 3 years? Because it's a lot, especially when you don't have to play Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's almost as many times as you can prepare Oreo soup. It was fun trying to come up with all the different ways to make that instead of trying all the different ways you can complete missions in Konami's video game Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Whoa, you did the Oreo soup challenge? Is that what happened to your body parts?
No, that was from the time I spent mastering the art of Django origami instead of researching MGS5 TPP.
Oh, weird. Anyway, I'm going to pick you up now. Do I have your consent to touch you on the butt while I do it?
I would honestly welcome it after being here for so long. Whoa! That's a rad robot hand. How'd you get that?
I got really into contact juggling and, this is embarrassing, in a fit of rage, inspiration, and sexual juggling passion, it got chopped off. So I used the time I spent not playing Konami Computer Entertainment Japan's Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, directed by Hideo Kojima, to infiltrate a group of contact juggalos to develop it for me. It's made of magnets.
Oh, I didn't think juggalos actually juggled, but that's sick. Can I get some of those for my missing limbs?
No. I got you a cane. It's your punishment for pushing off this fucking game for so long.
Oh. Well, what's your punishment?
Crippling depression.
Oh, word? Well, can you do one thing for me? Can you say the thing?
Sure, longtime war friend. Made you wait for a pretty long time, eh? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, friends and dear listeners, and welcome to Metal Gear Mondays, the most thorough Metal Gear podcast on the internet. I am your host, Sam Wright, and I am stunned and honored to be here at this point in time with you. But before I explain why that is, I'd like to introduce my my co-pilot, hand always on the wheel with me. When I couldn't walk anymore, he carried me, and that's why there's only one pair of footprints in the sand. It's Jesus. No, it's Alessio Summerfield.
Wow, didn't expect that. The way you opened the show, I could have swore I was listening to your voicemail for a second.
I know, that's why.
I was like, am I having a stroke?
That's why I was trying to. I'm trying to like figure out my whole hosting game, and I figured that was a good enough opening as anything.
It was good. It feels like we're watching Michael Jordan shoot free throw line shots at like 18. I think you're eventually gonna fucking just rock it out of the park, but you got to practice, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So this is good. This is like watching the practice tapes. I think we're all in awe. But yeah, it's so good to be here, and thank you for having me, Sam. And thank you for the kind words.
You're welcome. The reason why I feel so weird being here is because this is our coverage starting Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Took us 3 years to get here, thereabouts. We're here. We did the generalities last week with our Ground Zeroes coverage, and we're going to just kind of start talking about Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oddly, this feels more surreal than interviewing Jeremy Blaustein and Cam Clark. Oddly,
actually talking about Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah definitely.
I'm there with you. But first, before we can talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, we have to do one thing, and you know what that is, Alessio?
I don't know, actually.
Well, we gotta talk about the news. It's time for new news. Metal Gear news!
Yeah!
Welcome to the news for the week of April 9th, 2019. That's when we're recording.
This is MTV News. We're cutting a Jaw rule. Jaw, we got you on the line. What can you tell us?
What can you tell us about Fire Festival 2, Jaw rule? So if you were listening to the last time we did the news, you'll know that we reported on the fact that Metal Gear Solid 4 was available on PlayStation Now.
Guess what's PlayStation Now?
Guess what's PlayStation Now, bitches. This month's offerings are Ground Zeroes and 5. So
one is good, one is bad. We'll let you decide. No, I'm kidding.
One is good, one is bad. Give me something I desire. Give me fuel, give me fire.
That was good. I like the Metallica poll. That was pretty good.
Thank you. So the other piece of news, we've got 3 pieces of news, and I'm going to let Alessio talk about the last one, but I'm going to bring up this next one. You can get a Gecko brand statue of the Wanderer, which is the default enemy, the main mob baddie in Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, I thought it was the protagonist for Shadow of the Colossus.
That too, but this is a different one. It is a highly detailed 1/6 scale statue by Gecko, and you can get it for $300. It's $299 US, which is about the same price as a brand new PlayStation 4 right now.
I'm not gonna lie, that statue is pretty sick. If it was cheaper, I would actually maybe consider potentially.
Probably it has a built-in.
To buy it for me.
It has a built-in LED in its head, so the crystal that's sticking out of the Wanderer's head, it like glows.
They should just give they should give free copies of that with the game, and maybe people would buy the game.
Maybe that would be. The article that I read that told me about this thing that's happening is that is a Game Informer article, and the first paragraph, I'm going to read it in its entirety. If you already have Metal Gear's iconic villains lining your shelf and have room for one more, Metal Gear Survive's Wanderer is looking to fill that space. Oh yes, the iconic Metal Gear villain, the Wanderer.
I like how that sentence could be rewritten.
Reason.
That sentence could be rewritten as, if you've already spent $3,000 US on statues, here's another.
Yeah, here's an extra. Here, spend 10% of that and buy another one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you want to talk about this next piece
Yeah.
of news, Alessio?
Yeah, we tweeted about it, I think. Yeah, I think I tweeted about it. I don't know if I Facebooked it when it was contemporary. I think at this point, we're recording so early on some of these that I can't even recall when this is going to drop. But Sweet Baby Boy, director of one of the best movies ever made, and a really good movie as well. Nicholas Winding Refn of Drive and Neon Demon is.
I learned the other day it's Vinding.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he's Danish, I
I
think.
think so.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say that. Refn's not roughing around. With he's got a TV show that Amazon is producing called Too Old to Die Young. And I think Sam and I talked about it on a Patriot Club episode for anybody who is subscribed to that on Patreon.
We did.
He is doing this TV show where every episode is essentially like 90 minutes or so. So they're like feature film episodes. I think it's a 10-episode show. But during the teaser trailer that recently came out, at a minute 54 in the trailer, you can see a certain Japanese gentleman named Hideo Kojima swinging a sword. This coincides with some pictures of Kojima and Nicholas together, kind of many months ago, which might have been during the filming of this. It's a little unclear as to whether or not Kojima is going to be a major character, if it's just kind of a cameo, like tongue-in-cheek thing. I'm going to go on record to say Kojima's acting's probably not going to be that great, just given what we know.
What took you so long?
But it'll be fun to see either way. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. When that show comes out, I will probably talk about it if it's worth talking about. Hopefully it's not bad. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah.
That's it. We did the news.
That's the episode. No, I'm kidding.
It's just wow.
I like how you became like a drunk redneck for like a split second there.
He might be a redneck. Can we do that again? No, so yeah, that's it. I guess it's up to us to start talking about Metal Gear Solid 5. It's just me and Alessio, and we're gonna fucking rip it like a Beyblade. Let her rip. So, like I mentioned at the top of the show, if you did not listen to last week's coverage of Ground Zeroes, fucking why? Doesn't make any sense.
You? Why are you here?
But also, we did discuss like the generalities surrounding like the development and the controversy surrounding the development and all kinds of stuff for 5. So
Which
check that out. Oh, just the one where everybody lost their jobs and
Oh yeah, I
the
forgot.
game wasn't really finished.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
That got real
So
sad.
we're going to so we've discussed that already. We're just going to start talking about the game. Part 1 is going to be, we're going to discuss the prologue of the game through quote episode 23, which is called The White Mamba. Ooh, wonder what that's about.
It's a porn.
Yeah. Metal Rear Solid.
Oh no. What if that was the name of the episode? It's like episode 53, Metal Rear Solid.
Oh god. But yeah, so we're going to discuss that, and then part 2 next week is going to be episode 24 through the end of the game. And then we're going to do one more episode after that that's going to discuss side ops a little bit more in depth and some online, some stuff with the online.
Fobs.
Yeah.
Fobs and Bobs and Jobs.
Bobs, Clobs, Steve Jobs.
Yep.
Yep. So it's gonna be great. So
Nice.
let me paint you a scene, Alessio.
Paint away, sir.
You're in a bathroom.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of guns in the bathroom,
Okay.
and there's gunfire happening all around you,
Okay.
and
I'm in
you're walking
Chicago,
into the
right? This is a
bathroom.
public bathroom in
Yeah.
Chicago that you're describing.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's like.
Okay.
Just another day, in a Chicago without end. On a camera pans gently up to a mirror.
Gently.
You can't see who's in the mirror.
Is it
and
me?
The words,
Is it you?
Is it give me fuel, give me fire? I don't know. And the words, just another day in a war without end, outer heaven, come up on the screen. Ooh. And then a red hand picks up a tape that says, "The man who sold the world." And then the scene fades, and you fade into a very blurry room while the song, "The Man Who Sold the World," not by David Bowie, but by, God, I don't remember who the cover is by. Yes.
Midge of a band called Audio Vox, I think.
Yes. Which I want to camp here for like 1 second and say, you're not going to hear me say that I think somebody's cover of a David Bowie song is a superior version often, if ever, but I think that this version of the song is better.
I'm going to agree with you 1,000,000%. I think this is better than the Nirvana version that was made famous by the MTV Unplugged CD. I think this is fucking rad, dude.
Yeah. The synth at the beginning, like it's so good.
Here's a massive unappealing goose egg of what this means though is you have to fucking delete your save game to see this again. Like if you go back and you choose mission 1 from the main menu, it will not play this opening cutscene.
Like in the bathroom?
Yeah, the bathroom and the tape and all that shit. Like you have to.
I'm glad that I started fresh.
Which is very frustrating because I think if you just pick the main menu scene or whatever, the mission select, it'll just bring you to the hospital bed.
Huh.
So, but yeah, and don't forget this bathroom because we're gonna have to remind you about it 65 hours from now. Because I completely forgot, and then it was like, oh, like literally the first time I booted this up again for the show, I was like, oh my god, they opened with this? I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we play a little bit of the song right here, Sam?
Yeah, can we? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We spoke of was and when, although I wasn't there. He said I was his friend.
I fucking love that
so
version
good.
of the song so much.
There's a lot of good music in this game.
There is, yeah.
It might be the best
every
part
time
of
I
the game.
hear, I think so. Like my favorite part, I think I legitimately. So I really love the song "Kids in America."
By Kim Wilde.
And I was walking around like a base, like a camp at one point, and I heard it, and I stopped everything I was doing to go find the source of the music because I wanted that tape so bad.
Yeah, that's how I get with any of the tapes when I hear them. Also, can I just say that I think the best / worst feature of the game is getting to hear the first 15 seconds of every song in the helicopter.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to sit here and listen to the rest of the song, but I gotta walk, so I guess I'm just gonna hear the first 15 seconds of this Hall & Oates song over and over and over.
Maneater. Just listen to Maneater. I'm really familiar with the first 15 seconds of Maneater by Hall & Oates.
Yes.
Yeah, the tapes are nice. It's a nice little touch. I do
get on
I
it,
miss
Mondo.
I
want a vinyl release of all of these.
I miss my codec. Let's start with fresh. That's the one thing about Peace Walker that I miss too is I miss the codec.
Yeah, I agree.
That was my home. That was my home away from home.
I do like that while I'm sneaking, I can hear people talk. The shitty part is, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but like it muffles the rest of the sound while you're listening to tapes. And so like putting on any tape and then trying to sneak, I feel like sound is such a big part of not getting spotted and like knowing where people are at, that it's like really difficult for me to focus while I'm listening. Like I feel like I'm driving and talking on the phone at the same time. It's like a dog. I gotta do one.
Exactly. So it's like it's really hard. So what I wound up doing was I wound up going on, like, most of the time when I listened to like story related tapes or like character tapes, I would like just sit on the ACC while I was like doing something else, while like browsing my phone, and just listen to tapes like that.
Yeah, that's how I did all of it. For the record, I think so. Sam and I both played this all the way through, kind of around the time that it came out. But we also replayed it for the show. I have a question for you. You're playing on a PS4 Pro, right? So I still have like my OG PS4. I just want to say, when you're in the ACC, like the helicopter waiting room lobby between the missions, my PS4 sounds like it's fucking taking off to the moon. Does yours also get really loud?
No, it gets loud sometimes, but not often.
Dude, it gets really loud. Like I paused it on the ACC to go walk Jerry the other day, and I thought that like the fan would like. I thought it would load what it needed to load and just chill the fuck out. When I got back, my living room was like, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
It's atmosphere. You're in a helicopter. It's atmosphere.
Yeah, it was insane.
But yeah, so I painted that scene, and then we kind of threw some red paint on it. Now we're painting another scene.
Nice. Real quick, I do really quickly want to, just because I know somebody's listening and they're like, "Oh man, you got to talk about it." I do think that it's cool that we specifically get a cover as the opening song, because I think that foreshadows some other stuff that will be coming.
Yep.
Sam, what's spoiler discussion on this? We're waiting until like the end of part 2 to just go ham on spoilers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
I think if we like let something slip on accident, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
but,
please forgive us.
There's
a certain redheaded fella that I kind of feel like we should probably just call it like we see it, because I don't think the game actually acknowledges who it is.
It never fully says one way or the other, but it's like, of course it is. So yeah, when we talk about this character, we'll just call that one out straight up.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so the blurry room that you are in is a hospital room. You are in a hospital bed, and your vision slowly clears. You can kind of see shapes of things walking back and forth, and eventually, a nurse. You'll have your vision cleared just enough, and you can move your head that your vision will clear, and you can see a nurse over you. And of course, the first thing you see, it gives you the opportunity to just really get a real glare at some bahonka donks, some bing nonga belugas, bahugas, you know what I mean?
And they don't have the DOA physics, but they got some physics.
Yeah, the boobs in this game have some physics. So yeah, you're looking at this nurse's boobs via perv cam, which is like the first thing. Great, perfect, awesome.
It's like a signature.
Yeah, eventually
for Kojima.
Yep. Eventually, the nurse will notice that you're awake and will run to go get probably the doctor, and then the screen will fade to black, and then you kind of hear a weird dial tone, and then a bunch of people say, V has come to, and then the iDroid's voice says V has come to as well. Mm-hmm. Like after the dial tone just kind of cuts, somebody says that, and then the iDroid voice says it, and then the main menu pops up.
Yep. Can I want to say really quickly too that I think visually this game fucking super stands up still. I just wanted to say, because I don't think we really solidified it quite as much as we should have in the Ground Zeroes episode. There is still something really magical about seeing Metal Gear in this level of visual fidelity.
Yeah,
like this is the prettiest that Metal Gear will ever be right now.
Rip.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just really cool, and I was trying to get Isaac to say it whenever I was like, "Hey Isaac, tell me what you thought." But like, it's crazy. Like we get Metal Gear looking insanely beautiful. So that's really neat.
Yep, it is really neat, and it's true. Like it's the Fox engine are also rip. Is a great engine, but
Fox Blast
really brought the fire to the Pro Evolution Soccer 2014.
Yeah, right. What? I wish Man on Fire was like an unlockable soccer player in that game.
Hell yeah. I'd be so
Literally.
into that. They get me to buy a PES game.
Yay.
Anyway, so yeah. So you start the game, and they kind of flash some like time frames on the screen. So 3 days after awakening, the doctor, and this is basically like the camera movement tutorial. The doctor asks you to move your head around.
I promise
then
I
he
will quit.
asks you-
I promise I will quit interjecting at some point. I do have a quick thing that I want to bring up really fast.
Yeah. So,
If you click in R3, you know how you can zoom in or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Is it weird to anybody other than me that when you zoom in, even in this hospital section, it makes like a zoom in robotic camera lens
It
sound?
does. It's really weird.
It kind of makes me think, like my very first thought in replaying it is like, is this whole game just like a weird flashback sequence? And like, is this weird robotic
so
sound
the
like a
thing of it,
mistake,
I
or is
didn't-
it on purpose?
I didn't notice it in the original, like the first time I played through it for this playthrough. I definitely noticed it in mission 46, so I thought it was only in that mission.
Oh yeah,
but
no, it's here too.
I went back and I watched a video of the prologue to compare the two, and it's in the prologue as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so after the doctor asks you if you recall your name and your birthday, and then you get to enter in your name and your birthday.
I put in right.
Like, did you?
No, I'm kidding. I put Alessio.
Yeah, no, I put my name as well. I put Sam right there. And the doctor says, after you do this, the doctor tells you to try not to panic, which, can I say, telling somebody to try not to panic is really the best setup for getting somebody to panic, right?
Yeah, I love this guy's voice actor, and I love that your controller starts like violently vibrating right after he says try not to panic.
Panic.
And my controller was just like, oh fuck. Like,
Oh fuck, some shit's going down. Well, look, he tells you that you've been in a coma for 9 years, and then understandably you're just like, oh fuck, what? I get so it's okay. What was this an overreaction?
I don't think
Or
so.
was this just the right amount of reaction for
Well-
finding out that you've been in a coma for 9 years?
And that's not even the shock yet, because he's like, you've been in a coma for 9 years. Also, like, part of your body's missing. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, so here's the thing, like that, like oh god, that like crazy like shaking reaction where he had to be sedated.
Yeah.
Like I would understand that for the hand. I might like start hyperventilating a little bit if I found out I was in a coma for 9 years. I don't think I would have like a full on like body convulsion. You
I
know
would
what
be
mean?
happy. I'd be like, holy shit, I woke up. That's great.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
he was
woke up and I got
convulsing because he
this-
was like, fuck, my Obamacare cannot cover 9 years of coma. Like, he was like, I literally can't pay for this.
Yep. That's why he has to escape the hospital. He's trying to duck the bullets.
Because he's a freelance games journalist and he has to pay like $8,000 a day for his fucking crappy insurance. That sucks.
Oh god.
God, that's
let
the
me be
real
clear.
Phantom Pain.
Oh, let me be clear. Obamacare will not pay for 9 years of a coma. and I'm sorry about that.
Yep. Yeah, so what V is experiencing here is the same trauma that most Americans feel anytime they go in for a fucking urgent care checkup.
Oh god, did I tell you I had to go in? Did you see my Instagram post about that? Back when it was like snowy out here in February, we had like snowpocalypse in Seattle, which would be like, I guess we can go to work in anywhere else in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean this is a Tuesday in the Midwest?
I was actually going to work and I was clearing my car off and there was some leftover ice and I slipped on it and I caught myself, but I did like a superhero landing on my bad knee. And so I went to work and I could barely walk and my boss made me go to urgent care and I didn't want to go because I knew, and I was just like, fuck, even with my insurance.
Yeah.
I hadn't met my deductible, so I had to pay like $250. Yeah. So it was not fun.
Yeah, that sucks. That is, and I don't mean this as to be like nah, but that is like, it's moments like that whenever I do have to go to the doctor. Whenever I'm super thankful that my wife gets like crazy, insane like engineering benefits, because it's like, oh, $15. Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. Fucking, anyway, didn't expect this to turn
Sorry about that. Welcome to Medical Gear Mondays.
Medic, did you say?
Oh, no. Have you paid your copay?
What?
I said, have you paid your copay?
Have you paid your copay?
That's our new slogan.
Yeah. Medic Gear Mondays. Have you paid your copay today? Anyway, so you start to freak the fuck out, and you get injected with some stuff that puts you back to sleep, and then a week after waking up. So this is not, you haven't been asleep for another week, but like a couple days later, the doctor tells you about all of your crazy fucking injuries. So, and he puts a bunch of X-rays on the screen.
Just various X-rays. He's like, look at what I've been doing.
Very, yeah, you know. But yeah, he talked about how they got most of the fragments out, and there are a couple that are like fragments that are around his heart and skull, that they couldn't get out without causing brain damage, but that won't impede anything if they just leave them in. So you just got fucking shit sticking out of your head the entire time. And then the doctor tells you, what does he say? He says, it's better to tell you about your condition now.
Yeah.
And,
Isn't he like, do not be alarmed or something?
Yeah.
I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, which is just like, again, don't fucking tell somebody not to be alarmed when they're about to find out that their hand it got chopped off.
Yeah, I just want to say
up
also like mad props to Kiefer Sutherland, who'd voice a snake here, because that motherfucker asks 0 questions to this doctor. I feel like if this was my mom, she'd be like, wait a minute, what? Why'd you do that? What's going on? Like every question in the book.
I want them to remake Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
Except with your mom instead of
It's called Mother Gear Solid 5.
Mother Gear Solid. I think that would be incredible. We talk about Johnny a lot, but we don't we don't talk about your mom.
Mad props to Mama G.
Mama G.
Giovanna Summerfield. I'll give you her maiden name, Giovanna Maria Spampinato. There you go.
Ooh, how Italian.
Oh yeah, the most Italian.
The most Italian name. But yeah, so if we can, when we buy Konami with our Patreon money, that's the first project.
Oh,
we're gonna
of course.
remake 5 with your mom.
Yep.
As the main character. But yeah, so he shows you an X-ray where you're missing your fucking hand.
Yep.
And then you of course put your hand up and it's bandaged up. You have a stump, and then you freak the fuck out again, and then you get injected with
Goof juice.
Goof juice. Goof juice. Come on, Goof juice. Goof troop. Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't seen that show in forever.
I know.
My boy Pete. That was before
My boy
Pete.
Pete.
That's before Pete joined Maleficent.
Yep. It was back in the day when he was just a dad doing his best. What's up with? Here's my question.
Wait, can
what's
Pete
up with,
Pete be the skull face to my mother in the Mother Gear Solid 5 remake?
Yes, he can. What's up with I can't remember Pete's son's name. What's up with like Pete's son and Max in Kingdom Hearts?
What the fuck is his kid's name?
I
can't remember. Anyway, what? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, now I'm Pete. Oh, it's PJ. Pete Jr.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
PJ.
Yeah, Pete Jr.
Yeah, we weren't moving on until we figured that out. Anyway, so you get put to sleep again, and then 2 weeks after awakening, the doctor kind of talks to you about how there are people who want him dead, so that you have to alter your appearance so that he can get out alive.
And here we are, not 30 minutes into the podcast, and Alessio is going to put his foot down and be like, "What the fuck is this? Why?
Yeah.
Why do this?"
Yeah.
We can dig into this conversation later more as we get to the quote unquote why, but I don't like this.
Yeah. I also agree. I do not like this. But yeah, so he holds up a mirror and you see Big Boss. And she's like, "Oh, hey, it's Big Boss." And then you go to a character creation screen where where you have to make your character. You
A
have to
really
make
fucking
character.
ugly dude. I think next to
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1, this is like the ugliest character creation that exists. I think.
Yeah, I tried to make like a nice looking person and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I love that you can get Vulcan Raven's tattoo on your forehead under the tattoo options, but that's about it. Everything else is kind of dumb. You're like, no matter what, all the facial hair looks like fucking somebody shaved pubes and then glued them to your face.
Yeah,
It's real
like,
bad.
it just like dropped him out of a cheese grater.
Ew. Ew.
It's like
Yeah.
rub your taint on this cheese grater. And just let the-
They should have
let the-
named each of the facial hairs just like lightly graded, medium grading.
God, gross. Say when.
Ew. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry about the little bits of skin and blood on there, but we got your pube beard going, so everything's fine.
That's for the ginger beard, but yeah.
Oh God.
Ew.
Oh God. Anyway, so you make this very ugly character. Which is
Yes. You make a Monster Factory character and then
weird. I'm shocked that they haven't. We should tweet at them to do Metal Gear Solid 5.
yeah. That would be a good one. Please.
But yeah, so after you create this character, you see the character in the mirror, and the doctor will remove your bandages and tells you that your name is Ahab. And as he's explaining what's going on, somebody sneaks up behind the nurse.
Yeah, it's good old supermodel and game personality Stephanie Houston.
Yeah,
Just as
Stephanie
herself.
Houston.
I really wish that it was
That's-
just her as herself.
the deadly sharpshooter Stephanie Houston.
I do have a question here. When she chokes the nurse, the visuals get all wonky and like the audio gets weird. Kind of alluding to what I was alluding to before with the R3 thing. Is this because it's like a weird, like, false memory, bizarro flashback, like, therapy thing? Like hypnotherapy
It could
thing?
be. I just
don't
be.
I just don't understand, like, why are we freaking out because the nurse is dying?
Yeah.
And it's not like
Well,
a normal
I mean-
freak out, it's like a game glitch feeling freak out.
Yeah. Because, like, well, and also kudos to Kiefer Sutherland for not mentioning that the nurse is dying.
Yeah, come on,
First of
brother.
all,
Fucking say
What
something.
the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
Say,
just be like,
look, the
hey,
nurse is
her.
dead.
She dead.
Yeah.
Like something.
Her dead. Like, be better. Be a star. Be better than that.
At least like record VO of Kiefer trying to speak and maybe his voice being like fucking super raspy or something.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, no, do not try to speak. Save your strength.
yeah. Don't worry about the nurse. We have 18 more.
we have 18 more. All of them very good boobs for you to stare
Oh
at.
no.
But yeah, so nurse dead. And then doctor is dead.
Yeah, he gets
Tries to
fucked up.
fight. Yeah, he tries to fight with his gun, but he doesn't make it.
He kicks us.
And then, he kicks the bed falls over. There's some explosions, and then Snake tries to go for the doctor's gun, but is thwarted by Stephanie Houston, who picks it up and aims it at him. But then she is assaulted by a man with a very heavily bandaged face
And his butt's hanging out.
and his butt hanging out.
Dude,
My
his
favorite thing
taint's
about this
just
is like
fucking everywhere.
God.
Dude, and he throws bedpans, the greatest weapon.
That's
of
what I
all.
was gonna say. That's my favorite thing about this. He like tries to throw bedpans at her to stop her, and he knows that this isn't gonna work. But he
I
does
wish
it
they were
anyway.
like filled with pee. Like when they hit her, they just sloshed everywhere.
slathered, and Stephanie juiced and slathered in piss.
Ew,
That's
MP4.
somebody's kink. Yeah, that's somebody's .mp4. That's something you'd find on the dark web.
Exactly.
Stephanie Houston, watersports.mp4. God.
Jesus Christ.
What are we doing? But yeah, so so he throws some kind of liquid at her, and then she chucks a knife at his shoulder.
Which is fucking rad.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. And then you lose consciousness, and you hear the sound of a lighter. And
Well,
when you
before that,
come
we hear Stephanie singing, and that's another thing where I'm like, this has to be some sort of flashback, because
Yeah.
like, why would she be singing in your ear unless we remembered the singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's like I think it has to be like some weird like hypnotherapy, like crazy shit, because they explain that like later.
Yeah.
But,
Well, one more quick note about that, and I'm sorry, I just have these back to back, so I wanted to throw this out there. One, we right before Stephanie has what happens to her happen here in a second, you hear people screaming in the hospital, and one of the female screams in the background is 100% the same sound from the beginning of the game when you hear all the screaming and shit during the helicopter crash. And so again, part of me is like, why are they reusing that scream, like Terminator style, like back to back, unless it's supposed to be?
Hell?
I forgot. I forgot. That's a good-looking boy.
But yeah, it's very strange. But yeah, so she's choking out Snake, and then when he regains consciousness, Stephanie Houston is on fire. And she's like starts crawling towards you guys. And he tries to throw the knife back at her, but she kind of like knocks it out of the way. And then he throws another bottle of that stuff at her and makes her more on fire. And then she falls out a window.
Classic Stephanie Houston. I don't know if you've been to a party with her,
Classic.
but she does that all the time.
She definitely loves to just fall on fire. It's like her Irish goodbye, except
It's her Ahab goodbye.
her Ahab goodbye. And it's here that, and this is another weird fucking thing. You notice that you have a hook hand, and like a single white petal falls down towards your hook hand.
I will say, I
That's
thought that
weird.
the pedal came from nowhere, but when I played this game specifically, I was kind of keen-eyed. There is a white lily in a vase to your right before you get kicked out of the bed.
Would you say it was a grass lily, perhaps?
Oh yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Our friend
I have
Ishmael
some of
here is a
those on
real
my-
piece of shit and does not give us a hand whatsoever, by the way. And that drove me
I
nuts.
fucking love this whole
dude,
section.
Can you not just help? Like, can you give me a hand here, bud? Like, what's going on?
Like, but yeah, so he's like, it's time to go, and he says his name is Ishmael and whatever, and then he injects you with something that's supposed to get you on your feet, and you have to fucking just crawl everywhere. And fucking Snake's whole deal is that he uses literally every possible unstable surface to try and stand up. He uses trash cans. He uses fucking like wheelchairs. Like he uses all kinds of shit. And that's the fucking thing, is that there's a wheelchair at the end of the hall. Give me a fucking wheelchair, Ishmael. What are you doing?
Well, and especially considering what we know, it's like, dog, wouldn't you want to help me? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that it would just get weirder and weirder. Like he's trying to hold himself up on a card house and some popsicle sticks and like a big slab of butter and like on water. He's using water. It's not working. It's so weird, man. It just feels like a goofy gag. I'm trying to be serious, and it feels like this is the equivalent of Snake trying to light a cigarette in MGS4. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, it's really fun. Like, he like gets to like this bench, and he's shimmying along the bench, and then when he finally tries to push himself up, he tries it on a fucking trash can. What are you doing?
Well, and the one time he uses a wall, like an explosion shakes him off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, you're just having a bad day, bud.
Really? Yeah. And it gets to the point where it's just, they're going, and they're trying to use the stairs, and then Ishmael goes, we better take the elevator.
And I'm like, why, dude? There's a fire, motherfucker. You're never supposed to take an elevator in a fire.
Exactly. But they didn't, they're not OSHA approved, these boys. So whatever.
Nope.
But yeah, so you go towards the elevator, and you are confronted by a creepy little boy in a gas mask.
Dude,
with
so
really red hair.
Ishmael goes, what the hell is that? And I kid you not, without missing a beat, I said to the TV, a Slipknot fan. And I don't know why that was my immediate reaction, but it made me chuckle.
Fingers into my eyes.
It was crazy. Do you think that they put this motherfucker in front of the elevator specifically to signify who it is?
Call back to MGS1.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think so. They don't
I'm-
explicitly say.
I'm real bummed that it is who it is, though. I think they
Yeah.
do say in a tape, like, way the fuck down the road.
Well, they mention the experiments. They never call out Well, obviously they wouldn't, but yeah.
I think they call him by his actual name, like his first name, and I think that's
Well,
where
so-
the connection is.
Well, so the thing about it, they call him by a name, but the name means the third child in Russian. So it's not his actual name; it's another code name. It's like Treti Rebanok or something like that.
Yeah. So it's little baby P. It's a little Psycho Mantis.
It's Psycho Mantis. We have baby. I whenever I refer to him in my notes for this game, I call him Baby Mantis.
I like that. I thought you were gonna say Baby Psycho.
Mantis do 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 do. Baby Mantis do 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 do.
Well, I
hope that's in everybody's head now.
Between Baby Mantis and some of the other Metal Gear babies, I was really hoping this was just going to be Metal Gear babies, like the whole time.
Muppet Babies Metal Gear Edition.
Yeah, I would kill. I was like, there's one specific baby that I was hoping was going to make an appearance, and I was very upset when he didn't.
Yeah, a specific snake baby.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But yes. They see Baby Mantis, and then he floats up into the ceiling, which is buck wild. And then the elevator explodes, and you get knocked back, and for some kind of cosmic karma, Ishmael is set on fire. And then
Dude, poor Ishmael. If you pay attention to the character models later in the hallway, Ishmael gets set on fire. He gets shot. He pees himself. He gets a knife thrown at him.
Well, no, so he doesn't pee himself.
Oh, we pee ourselves. That's right. I forgot.
No, nobody pees himself.
Oh, that's right. It's the bag. My bad.
It's the bag, yeah.
I just like to imagine that we pee. No, I think V pees himself.
Does he?
Ishmael, it's the bag, and then when they aim the fucking flashlight at V, you just straight pee yourself.
Cool, dude. But God, what a fucking dumbass peefy boy.
Well, why would you do that? They're like, oh, is this guy dead? First reaction, just empties his bladder. Like, are you serious, man?
When we get to that scene, I've got some things to say about that scene.
Yeah, that whole sequence makes no fucking sense to me, but hello,
I've got-
darkness,
yeah, I've
our
got
old
many.
friend. We got the devil joining us here.
Yeah. So a man who is on fire, and some might say it's a man on fire, approaches you, and you can't really do anything, and then his fire is so hot that the sprinklers go off, and he goes away.
Which is really anticlimactic.
Yeah. So because of this, you promptly resume your tactical crawling operation.
Yeah. Did you notice that Kojima Productions put fucking Ground Zeroes posters on all of the cork boards in this hospital?
Really?
Yeah, they're backwards Ground Zeroes posters of like Snake in his like Fox unit shirt or whatever, and I'm just like, why?
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
Psychohypnotherapy. But yeah, this is when the explosion kind of rocks the building, and Snake falls over, and now he has to crawl. His right arm is useless because something happened to it in the explosion. And then you get to a window, and Ish pops your arm back into place.
Man, just like somebody else we know.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. Who's that? Who is that? I don't know.
Why does every guard have a mask except for Stephanie Justin?
I don't know.
That kind of bummed me out.
It's because who cares? You know, Stephanie Houston's gonna come back and she's gonna be wearing a fucking bikini. It doesn't make any fucking sense either. But we don't talk about it. But they notice some soldiers entering the hospital, and then now that you can finally walk, you have to crawl again.
I didn't think of it like that. You're totally right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you go into this room, and a patient asks for help, and the patient is shot in the kind of like dust in this room, and then they crawl under this bed that's nearby.
Yeah, they out for blood, bro.
Yeah, they out for blood. They looking for somebody. But yeah, I don't think I understood what was happening here before, but I realized what was going on in Mission 46. The soldier reaches down under the bed to grab the guy's badge to see who he is.
Oh, okay.
And then I thought he was just like feeling under the bed for something. I was like, this is really fucking weird, and I don't know why it's happening, but it was because he was trying to get the badge.
Yeah, they murk everybody. Like, it's actually kind of intense.
Yeah. And then the other thing about it is, as they're trying to leave, another patient grabs Snake's leg and he gets shot and dragged away. And why the soldier did not notice the fact that this guy was grabbing somebody's leg is beyond me, but whatever. But yeah, so then you see there's a helicopter flying around. It indiscriminately murders a nurse and a patient. And then, but yeah, you have to sneak around the helicopter for a while.
This is cool. It's like, I mean, it's the most detailed stage in the whole fucking game, so definitely soak it in, son.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of sneak against the wall, and up after a point, some soldiers wind up behind you, and you wind up having to sprint to the end of the hall and into the stairwell, and Ish blocks the door when you get in there, and then...
Which is weird, because if you look straight ahead, he's also at the front of the line, and immediately takes bullets, and I'm just like, what? Mm-hmm. There's like a Python Salkin video that's explaining like that this might be more than it appears, because like they point out all kinds of weird little inconsistencies like that.
Well, that was the weird thing, is like he's moving towards him because he thinks it's him.
Yeah.
But he comes from behind him to pull him out of the way of the bullets.
Yeah, there are a lot of duplicated bodies in this hallway too. Like if you pay attention to the character models, there's like double and triple of everybody, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's very strange. So, you go into this gated area, and you have to kind of see what this kind of hubbub is about, and you find that some soldiers kind of round the corner and open fire on the crowd, and it's happening from both sides. And the guy in front who Snake thought was Ishmael is not, because, as we said, Ishmael comes from the room to the side of him and kind of yanks him in. And you kind of have to sneak through this room while these soldiers are patrolling and kind of hide under beds and kind of outfox them to get through here. Mm-hmm.
And this also doubles as like a tutorial. Like you can't really use all of your controls until they like explain it to you, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. It's a tutorial level. It's whatever.
Yeah. And you do have to kind of stay on rails, because anytime that I went in the opposite direction, like when you're in the big stairwell, I was like, I'm just gonna go all the way down and see what happens. You will just get fucking gunned down.
Oh yeah, we get murked. I did that. I had to I saw 3 soldiers. I was like, oops, gotta go back up, and I kind of bumped my way back up to the top of the steps and followed the other path. It was my favorite part I was gonna kind of just like glance over this, because it's just like you're learning how to be stealthy, and that's what it is. But I did want to mention that the soldier that's like patrolling these like curtained off areas in this hospital room will go over to the side that Ishmael's sneaking through, and there are patients in these beds. And a patient will be like, oh no, what? No, don't do this. And he gets shot, and he falls into the strongest curtain in the world. Because this guy's whole body weight is against this curtain for a solid like 15 seconds before it falls over. It's fucking nuts. But yeah.
Do they build it right in Cyprus?
Oh yeah, Cyprus, those hospitals, man. Yeah, so now you have to go out of this room and hide amongst the dead bodies that just got fucking massacred.
Yeah, this is where Beef Troop comes into play.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. They don't teach you, because like during the main game, they teach you that like when you're prone, you can hold down a button and you can go completely prone, put your head down, and
like not breathe.
And like hold your breath, and they won't notice you. You can't do that here. This is not where they teach you how to do that. You just fucking, while they're approaching, you're just staying with your head up in the air, and it's so fucking like
the whole thing is goofy. Well, and you don't even put blood on yourselves or anything.
Yeah,
you just like straight up, like from me to 5 feet away from me, like you just run up, and then you're like, I have to lay on my belly, and it's like these guards are on drugs if they don't see you.
And then my next favorite part is that these guys are in the habit of double tapping everybody just to make sure they're dead, and then they stop conveniently stop before killing Ishmael and Snake, which is so fucking stupid. Yeah. And then as they're walking away,
pee-pee boys.
As they're like walking away, they step in this water and they discover that it's this bag is burst. Which, like, here's the thing. That in and of itself is not a suspicious thing. Like, somebody fell over and their IV bag burst. It's a hospital.
Well, and
That
there's a
can
bunch of
happen.
dead people. Like, I'm sure people shit themselves. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, this whole room
Yeah.
is filled with, like, blood and everything. Like, it's whatever.
So it's not an unusual thing. So why? So Snake just completely just like, I guess I'll look up and shield my eyes from these flashlights.
Yeah,
now,"
he's like, I'm
instead
going
of
to hold my hand over my face like a fucking idiot. I was like, what are you doing?
instead of continuing to play dead, because for all they know, it's
Well,
just
then
a fucking IV bag.
Yeah, and then he pees himself, for real.
Yeah, and then
it's like,
then he
come
pees
on.
himself. And then the man in fire shows up again.
Can we just talk about the man on fire, by the way, like real quick? Because like he's got the body of somebody we all know.
He's a very specifically familiar looking man.
Like, yeah, I'm irritated with how long the game takes to just like even question it. Like, it's kind of dumb that this game's gonna go on for like 100 hours before it's like, LOL, it's actually who you think it is.
Yeah, they don't explicitly say it until fucking chapter 2.
Yeah. Do we want to just say it now, since he like
It's
literally
fucking
is just...
Volgan. It's Colonel
Yeah.
Volgan.
And it's like, come on.
And if you didn't know that it was Colonel Volgan from looking at him, you're dumb.
Yeah, he literally is wearing Volgan's outfit, like 100%.
Yeah.
And it's the only
Yeah.
fucking guy who's ever worn that outfit in the history of the game.
It's Volgan, yeah.
Yeah, and that was irritating. I was like, come on. Like, it's literally Volgan. Like, just straight up, that's who it is. And it's like,
To the point, like, even like where his bandolier is, like the bullet, that's where the bullets are like melted into his body. Like, it's Volgan.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And so a psychic boy that we all know is animating Volgan's corpse.
Yeah. So he blows up a helicopter and kills all the soldiers. A soldier gets set on fire and falls out a window, which is becoming a theme. And then this man kind of walks towards you. You guys run to the gate, and then Ishmael takes aim at the sprinkler system with a gun that he finds and douses the man in water, and he disappears again.
Did you say the man on water?
The man on water, yes. So yeah, you continue along the way, and you finally get a gun. And when Ishmael had a gun, he takes out a soldier with the gun, and then I said out loud, like Veruca Salt, I want a gun. Like, legitimately, I was like, I want a gun. Like, I was very disappointed I didn't have a gun. And then I got a gun.
Well, my immediate thought was like, I can't even hold myself up. What am I going to do with this gun?
Mm-hmm. Well, when you finally get your gun, he reloads it for you and then gives it to you. Like, all right.
I didn't know there were dudes right here, so like, real talk, when I got the gun, I just ran forward and died.
Oh god.
Like,
well, you're supposed to
instantly.
like shoot the fire extinguisher to take out the fire behind you to teach you how to use a gun.
Yeah, it was like right after I got the gun, I was like, oh, the right here, and then I just like got murdered.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got the gun. I fucking headshotted both of these boys like really quick, and Ishmael I was like fucking boom boom. I felt empowered.
Yeah, well, and on my game, I headshotted the one guy, and Ishmael did nothing. And then I was guess someone.
He said, "I'll take care of them." He does fucking nothing. That's why I did both of them,
liar.
because he was taking forever.
He's a fucking liar.
But yeah, so you run out and you get out into the lobby, and then there's a bunch of boys, and
I killed all of these motherfuckers with headshots.
oh, I did too.
I'm gonna go ahead
I
and
did
be
too.
real.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I was like, I've been in a coma for 9 years, but I'm a headshot machine.
Mm-hmm. This whole thing was funny because Ishmael is like, I'll run interference. He chucks his silencer and just starts shooting. Does a matrix dive off of the stairs and then disappears, never to be seen. Well, he gets in the game, like isn't seen anymore. And he did a really bad job of running interference because I had to kill all of them. I had to deal with all of those boys.
He's just a liar. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He's a liar and Snake's an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so you kill these boys, and then the man on fire shows up again, kills more boys, and
Eats a
then
tank.
you have to kind of shoot at the man on fire, and it's kind of futile. And I don't know if this is a timing thing or if it just kind of happens, but if you move towards the front door, you get a prompt to do like a quick dive, and then
Yeah, I booked it to the door right away. Actually, I don't even think I took any shots at Man on Fire. I just like booked it, and it prompted me like right away.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, moving towards the door will do this. A fucking helicopter blows through the door, and it's a tank what done it. It shot at the helicopter and blew it through the door of the hospital. And then
I'm confused as to what's
Mantis
going on here,
appears.
because if Mantis is controlling Man on Fire, like, I'm pretty sure Mantis is with XOF. Why is he killing all of XOF?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Right? Like, and it never really explains
it. Kind of calls into question. Yeah, because these guys, that's the idea here, is that these guys are SOF. So
yeah, and they're all like, after this mission and for the rest of the game, like, all these boys are on the same team. So like, why are they killing each other?
yeah. I feel like there was a tape that explained that like he didn't join up with Skullface until after the hospital.
Gotcha. But what
And
brought
that,
him
like,
to the fucking hospital in the first place? I don't know. It's just very weird.
Vulcan's Revenge.
I want to play that game.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid Vulcan's Revenge.
Yeah.
It's the sequel to Snake's Revenge.
Yeah. Before we leave this little hospital area, I just want to point out, if you go to No Clip or Boundary Break or whatever the YouTube channel is, the statue outside you can see through the windows is like it's like a guy on a horse. I think it might be Napoleon, actually. It's like I think it's Napoleon on a horse. If you pay attention to the statue after the Man on Fire appears, it's a burning statue of the boss riding her white horse.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about that in the past. Yeah.
It's easier to see in the Boundary Break video, but you can still see it without breaking the game if you just pay attention and look at the right time.
Yeah. But yeah, so a bunch of shit happens. Mantis uses a fucking helicopter to chop these boys up.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was fucking intense.
Yeah. And then you run out of the hospital, and the tank kind of reverses and fires and knocks him out. And as he's waking up, the aforementioned statue's on fire, and Man on Fire is approaching him. And Snake kind of fires at him with, like, another, again, futile attempt to fire at him. And then a fucking ambulance just runs him the fuck over. Which I thought was the most comedic fucking thing. And then straight up, the ambulance is being driven by Ish, and he has like a fucking Mean Girls moment where he goes, "Get in, loser, we're going shopping."
Yeah.
And he doesn't say that. He says, "Get in," and he gets in. But it was very much like, "Get in, loser."
Yeah, I really wish he would have said, "Get in, loser."
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so they go in and they drive away, and then everybody here needs to chill the fuck out. But
I do love this sequence though, because it's like fucking trucks are falling from the sky. It's fucking bananas.
Yeah. A helicopter's chasing you. You go through a tunnel. It blows up the entrance to the tunnel, and then you like ramp over the fucking like checkpoint on the other side of the tunnel and like kill some guys, and then the ambulance crashes, and again, Ishmael's knocked out, and Snake has to kind of control the steering of the vehicle through all of this, and then you crash, and when you wake up, Ishmael's missing, and Snake crawls out of the ambulance, and is spotted by a helicopter, but then Mantis summons a flaming whale.
Yeah, quick question. Where were these powers at in Alaska?
I don't know. Maybe because he became an adult, like he lost his childlike imagination.
Maybe. I have a super.
He stopped watching.
Do you?
He stopped watching Reading Rainbow, and then just lost all of them.
Do you think that this map, within the development of the game, do you think that this Cyprus map is a part of the Afghanistan map, but like pushed way far away where you can't get to it? Or do you think this is like a whole separate level that they built just for this?
I don't know.
Because parts of it kind of reminded me of the Afghanistan map. Like as you're driving, and you can look around, it looks very like deserty.
Well, here's the thing. For as like detailed as they made, because listener, friend, patron Zach James said that they like did a spot-on job of recreating Afghanistan because he's stationed there currently. So like with the amount of detail they put into it, I wouldn't be surprised if they just made a completely separate area for Cyprus.
Gotcha. And that way it can like load in just for that mission.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is like the game's like biggest set piece, right? So
yeah, this
aside
is kind
from
of
like the boss battle in Mission 31.
Yeah, this is like the most scripted that this entire game gets.
Yeah. So like I can imagine them putting a lot into making it like sing, you know. But yeah, so so the whale takes out the helicopter. Swallow the whale to catch the fly. I don't know why he swallowed the fly. But then summons a giant flaming unicorn Pegasus.
Yeah, can you get this horse in the game, or am I thinking of Red Dead?
You can get the skin for this after you recover the body later on. You get, you can develop the skin for the horse for Dorsey. But yeah, you run away, and then Troy Baker shows up on a horse and tells you to get on.
Yeah, what's up, Troy?
And claims that he's on your side. And with all things being as they are, I think Snake gets on the fucking horse, and you ride away from the man on fire. And you have to kind of like time your shots to like stagger him. And while you're doing this, they do kind of like call to it like barely, because Troy Baker, while you're doing this, is muttering things like "persistent bastard" and "back from the dead," huh? Like while you're shooting at man on fire. So from the start, they do allude to the fact that like if you haven't figured it out already, and you maybe needed like one little like tick over the edge, this was what did it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you kind of ride, and then you'll notice a harbor in the distance, and then a cutscene will kick in, and the path in front of you is just kind of struck by lightning. You fall down a crevasse.
Great first day
and
awake.
Then
all that
yeah,
shit.
really
You get
just
struck
perfect.
by lightning.
Yeah, and my favorite thing, and Snake gets knocked out again because of course. And then the mission is technically over. I got an S rank on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yay. But yeah, so Snake tries and crawls towards the horse, who is fine. Let me just say.
Yeah, we don't have to put the horse down like we did in Peace Walker.
Yeah. But yeah, he's set upon by Mantis and the Man on Fire, and then is picked up by Troy Baker, and then they walk towards the horse, and then the two Mantis and Man on Fire, just disappear.
Did you see, before Mantis disappears, I noticed he had a horn on his head. Did you notice that?
Did he?
It was very
not
weird.
notice that.
I wasn't sure if I was seeing things or not, so I would definitely confirm, but I swear to God I saw a horn in his head before he disappeared.
Curious. I'm curious. But yeah, Troy Baker introduces himself as Ocelot and then says, "Big boss,
I don't believe him.
you know who I am."
It's AC, you know who it is.
So I isolated that clip, and it's now what plays when you text me.
What? This is AC, you know who it is?
Yeah, when you
Oh,
sent me
that's
that loom, I clipped that.
Oh, that's so
I clipped
good.
that noise. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's fucking great. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, so Ocelot says that he was given a job by a certain man to get Snake out of the hospital and to rescue Kaz, who was the man who gave him the order to rescue Snake. Apparently. And he briefly reminds you who Kaz is, and then recaps the end of Ground Zeroes, and just talks through the fact that Cypher found out the Snake was alive and went to the hospital to kill him, and that he has to rebuild his army, and that Miller is in Afghanistan training the Mujahideen rebels, but was captured by the Soviets, and that you have to rescue Kaz before they kill him, essentially.
Nice. Sam, I have a quick question.
What's up?
I wonder, because we are sitting at an hour once we have hit this hospital and finished. I know that a lot of the subsequent missions coming up are not super story related. How granular do we want to touch on every single mission as we get to them?
Not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think this is like the most story that this game has until.
Yeah, so like spending the time on this is probably the most we'll do, and then yeah.
Cool. I was
think we'll,
asking
like, briefly
for me
mention-
and also for the listeners, kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're not going to get too granular on the missions and stuff, but
Nice. Yeah, it was fucking sick though. I love the opening for this game. It's too bad it doesn't continue.
carry on. Carry on. So yeah, you're introduced to Chapter 1, Revenge. You arrive through this sandstorm on a horse, and Ocelot kind of tells you what's going on, gives you your iDroid and your binoculars, and kind of gives you the location of Miller, and says that Snake has to do it alone because he's a legend on the battlefield, which, first of all, bullshit. Fuck you. But yeah, then he gives Snake some Kaz gear,
Hell
JF Ray sunglasses,
yeah.
and then says to go and let the legend come back to life, and then you have to go and rescue Kaz.
When you talked about the sandstorm, in my notes I wrote Darude's sandstorm is playing physically.
We talked about that, where it's like, because you know how like when a sandstorm is coming, like the basses play like this audio
Yeah.
cue. I just wish it was sandstorm.
Yeah, I wish, because it's like sandstorm approaching. I wish that you heard like a ding 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 ding, just like in the distance. It's like fuck. I have a quick question that I want to throw out there. We see Big Boss smoking a digital cigar. I just need you to know that I said out loud, "No, that is not Big Boss." In like the MGS2 like Solid Snake from the helicopter. No, that is not Solid Snake. But yeah, we do finally get we get Snake's like quote unquote real name for the game here during these credits though. It says Punished Venom Snake.
Yeah.
So which one is he? Is he Punished or is he Venom? Is he both?
Punished Venom. That's like a flavor of Monster.
It's the new Mountain Dew.
It's the new Mountain Dew flavor. Mountain Dew Punished Venom. Do the dew.
Before the dew does you.
Oh, God. You want to get some punished venom in your veins? Fuel up before your next gaming sesh with Mountain Dew Punished Venom flavor.
Ew.
With natural and artificial flavors that kind of remind you of actual fruits, but not really. It's Punished Venom flavor Mountain Dew. Do the dew.
Dude, my first move whenever the fucking game started here, by the way, was to backtrack, parkour in the ruins, and then trank a gerbil and send it back to Mother Base.
Sick, dude.
I love the idea of Ocelot being like, let the legend ride. And then I'm like, I'm going to trank a gerbil. I just imagine Ocelot like face palming. He's like, God damn it.
Somebody should write a comic about that. Anyway, but yeah, so you have to infiltrate this this base called Da Juan de Car. And so when I started playing this, like my goal during the missions was to like try not to kill anybody and like try to stealth as best as possible.
Yeah, and it works the best here. Like these first missions, fucking sick. Like the tension, the like limited skills and like the limited items. Like it comes together really well here. I feel like as the game goes on, the game kind of tries to throw wrenches that are weird, and you have so many tools that like it kind of just feels like a weird, wacky fuck off game after a certain point. Mm-hmm. But it feels great here.
And the beginning of the game here is also a really good place to like challenge yourself. Like, you know how like when you played games back before they had trophies and shit, you would just give yourself like arbitrary bullshit to try just to see if you could do it. Mm-hmm. I was like, can I get to Kaz without engaging anybody? So no shooting anybody, no choking anybody. And I was just like, okay, let's do this. And I did it. I managed to do it.
Aw, congrats.
Except for except for the guy guarding Kaz, I think he's kind of like mandatory because he doesn't really move, so you kind of have to deal with him. But aside from that, I managed to get to him very quickly.
Yeah,
And
it's real good.
you know, if you go, there's a base, and I don't remember the first time I played this. I don't remember doing this. I think I just kind of beat feet to Guande. But there's another place if you go to Dawialo Kalai nearby. Ocelot kind of suggests you go there. You can find some intel that gives you his exact location, so you don't have to go stumbling around. Yeah,
I love the language barrier stuff. As you fuck around the first few times you're in these maps, like I think it happens in Africa as well. But like at first, when you try to grab somebody and interrogate them, you won't be able to understand their language. And I think that's cool in theory. I don't know if the game really does anything cool with it, though.
No.
It's just like a weird gate. And then once you clear it, it's like, okay, never have to worry about that again.
Yeah, it's very strange, but it's it's a cool theory. It's a cool thought.
I love the natural day-night cycle, because by the time I got to Miller, it naturally had become nighttime, which is really cool.
Yeah, same. Because I think so. The reason why I had so much frustration around the beginning part of this because I kept on failing before when I played it the first time. So because I didn't go to that initial intel place, it was daytime when I got to Guande, and I didn't know where the fuck he was. So I was just kind of stumbling around the place trying to find him, and I just kept on getting spotted, and it was a fucking nightmare. But this time, I did it the right way. It did great.
Yeah, I on my approach to the main area where they've got him held, I tagged everybody. Was having this real tense, like, all right, I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be great. Blah blah blah. Hadn't been seen the whole fucking time. Tag everybody. I go in to make my approach, and I kid you not, as soon as I walk up, a fucking truck pulled up and instantly spotted me, and everything went south. And I was like, I'm gonna reload. That sucked. Like,
that's bullshit. Yeah,
it was hilarious. Shit. The trucks that are roving in the maps drive me fucking crazy. Like, the trucks are awful, and then, like, I don't know if you've encountered this a lot, Sam, but when you're riding your horse, and then there's just randomly two dudes scouting the rocks for no reason.
Yeah,
Dude,
that happens all
those
like
guys.
Fucking God.
Fuck those
guys. There was one time when I was doing, like, I did this, like, perfect stealth run of a mission. I think it was in Africa, like, in the Africa portion. I was doing this, like, perfect stealth run, and then as I was trying to get away, two guys were just there in the road, like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop.
Yeah, like, why? Are you guys playing hopscotch? What the fuck is this? Like, what's going on? And they have, like, their little backpacks with, like, the little red thing on the antenna, and I'm like, what are you doing? Dude, it made me so mad. I'm like, God, yeah, quit delivering fucking Amazon packages or whatever this game's about. Like, stop.
Yeah, so you locate Kaz, and it went pretty much exactly like our skit went at the top of the episode.
Yeah, the dialogue was spot on. It was weird.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect. The beginning was, at the very least. I took that one for one. But yeah, you uncuff Kaz, and some bad shit has happened to him. Some real bad shit. And when Snake I love here because it was nighttime when I got him, like the daytime, I guess, but it was nighttime when I got here. And Snake asks if anything, what happened to his eyes, and Kaz just insists that it's bright when it's super dark. But yeah.
When he asks you to say the thing, you can press triangle, and Snake will go, "Kept you waiting, huh?"
Oh, nice.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't prompt you. You just have to, like, hit it.
You just have to know. Huh. But yeah, so you beat feet out of here with Kaz. And when you arrive at the LZ, it gets really foggy. And then Pequod, who is the new helicopter pilot.
Yeah,
Morpho,
not better.
RIP,
definitely just new.
Just new.
Hold on. In my notes, I wrote... And I can't believe it auto-corrected to this. I wrote Pequod has significance because it's also a Moby Dick reference, but my phone auto-completed. And so it says Pequod has significance because it's also a mobile dick reference.
I love me some mobile dick. Gotta tell you, that stationary dick, not my favorite, but that mobile dick. Oh, man. You let me at it.
I just need a little dick on the go sometimes.
It's like bagel bites for penis. Dick in the morning, dick in the evening.
It's like pocket espresso. It's just like pocket erections.
Pocket erection.
Very
Oh
weird.
my-
Anyway, sorry about
That's just a dildo. That's just a dildo.
the classic novel, Mobile Dick.
Mobile Dick. Welcome to Mobile Dick Mondays.
Jesus, I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh, God. That's fantastic. But Pequot says that he can't land because there's some kind of gas covering the LZ, and he abandons you.
Yeah, because like there's bugs. I can't do this.
Yeah. But there are these like weird like zombie looking soldiers. And Kaz freaks out and says that they're called the Skulls and to try and avoid them.
That's weird. I thought
and
Kojima
so I tried
laughed
to-
when zombies were in Metal Gear Survive. I thought he said there were never zombies in a Metal Gear. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
But yeah, so I try to be clever here, and I try to go the opposite direction and just take the long way around, but you can't because it's outside the mission zone. So I was like, fuck.
You think that'd be a
so I
good
thought-
thing? You just leave the fucking mission zone and you're good. Like, why?
Yeah, but it wouldn't let you do it, so whatever. So I tried going towards them, and I thought, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll hang off the side of my horse and just roll up. And I just want to let you know that the chief called and told me that ain't it. Because as soon, and no sooner and no later, as soon as the fucking horse booped his snoot past the bridge, the cutscene played where they fucking pulled the guns out of their hands and the portals in their hands and they start freaking the fuck out. Like it's buck wild. It's like some buck wild level. And then I was just like, and then I just fucking booked it on the horse. And I don't know if like, you like what else you can do here, but I was just like, fuck this. And they kind of just like appear around you and dash around you as you're trying to run away. And eventually, the mist will clear and you'll get to a new LZ. And the skulls will go away. And it's very good that they go away.
I had a very similar experience, except I just need you to know that I fucking hate D-Horse. Because I whistled for him.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up. And I don't know if this is just a glitch and I'm dumb or what, but every time I whistle for him and I start moving towards him as he's moving towards me, he just starts running away. And so literally it was me with Miller chasing a horse through the skulls.
Oh
and I literally chased this horse to the helicopter. And then the helicopter's like, I can't land. There's a horse. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, I literally had to trank Dorsey just to get the hell. I was so pissed. It was like a fucking it was like
Benny Hill.
Yeah, it was like a Benny Hill skit the whole time. Like I'm just juking skulls.
I have this. That's fucking crazy. I'm looking at my notes right now. I said, my notes here say my favorite thing is that if you get too close to the helicopter on Dorsey, Peacock will rise up and say there's some kind of obstruction at the LZ like a fucking idiot and raise up until you walk away, even if he's already landed.
It's real dumb. But yeah, don't
yeah.
move towards the horse until the horse has planted because he will run.
Yeah.
It's like me chasing Jerry around the house. Like it's very frustrating.
And the other thing that I want to mention too about Dorsey is that, well, first of all, his name is D-Horse, D-Horse. It's like Spider-Man. And
Fox-Hound.
It's such a, God. It's such a dumb fucking name. I took to calling him Dorsey. D''Horsay. Dorsey. It's very French. It's very fancy. Because it's a much better name than D-Horse.
I just call him Horse.
So.
Or
Dorsey, it's fancy.
What is Witcher 3? What is Geralt called?
Roach.
Oh, yeah. I should just start calling the horse Roach.
But yeah, Kaz will mention here that the skulls are the ones that killed his unit and captured him as you approached the LZ. And
you're like, but I just ran away,
mission.
dude. Why couldn't you just run away?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
We get hit with the
that's end
fucking credit crawl, and I'm like, wow, the game's over. Great.
My God. Yep, easy game. Baby game. No, psych, it does this after every fucking mission. Mm-hmm. So I got an A on that mission. I made a point to take pictures of all of my clear screens, because I Really just want to monument my
attest.
failures. Yeah. But I got an A on that one. I'm a little chick still at this point. And you get into episode 2, Diamond Dogs,
Dee
where Kaz tells you, Dee Dee! Where you
I just want to go on
are
record
told
as saying
you're
that
going-
Diamond Dogs is a real dumb name.
Yeah.
Like
it is.
I like David Bowie, but come on, y'all.
But yeah, so you're going to the Seychelles where new mother base is. And Kaz says he's going to rebuild it so that they can have somewhere to call home. And he says that they were dogs doing any jobs trying to hide from Cypher, and shows Snake his Diamond Dogs patch and says that it's their new home.
And then they kiss.
Kaz says
They
he
get real
remembers-
close to kissing.
They do.
And
They kiss.
and then Pequod interrupts.
Yeah, Pequod interrupts for a second, but then he goes back, and then they put the pee in the beehole.
Ew. These are mobile dicks.
These they use their mobile suit dicks to kind of fuck
Mobile suit,
Yeah.
goddamn.
yeah. They essentially they recap the end of Ground Zeroes, and Kaz is just like, are we still here to suffer? And mentions like he can still feel his missing leg and arm, and he basically he just has zero fucking chill this entire time.
I laughed out loud when Venom straight up turns and looks at him and goes, "What should I do? Tell me
Yeah.
what you used to." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now what, Dad? Like it's just like okay.
Yeah, now what? And Kaz continues to exhibit a severe lack of chill throughout all this, and says that Cypher sent them to hell and we're going even deeper to get revenge. And Snake's like, I'm already a demon and heaven wasn't meant for me anyways.
Yeah.
And then explains the Diamond Dog. It's all very melodramatic and loud. But yeah, so you have a tutorial about like mother base functions and
We see baby
Fultoning
mother base.
people and
Metal Gear
baby
babies.
mother
continue.
base and CQC and all this other, how to summon the helicopter and all that stuff. So you kind of learn about mother base's basic functions, which and we'll talk. I think we'll probably talk about like the online, like the FOB stuff, like in part 3. But basically, you can spend money to develop your base and to develop weapons and equipment. You can also Fulton men and women from the field.
Men and like singular
to-
woman almost.
Yeah, it's really funny. There's a mission, I can't remember which mission it is. There's a mission where the one of the objectives is to rescue a female prisoner.
Yeah,
So
there's a trophy for it.
that
You
should
get a
be kinda-
fucking trophy for
yeah,
it.
yeah, there is a trophy for it. So that kind of tells you exactly what kind of game this is. But yeah, so you kind of learn, so you can Fulton people, and we kind of talked about the changes about the Fulton. The people, you can't do it in certain weather conditions. You can't do it inside, and people will actually notice when they go up now, as opposed to a Peace Walker. So you basically Fulton people to bring them back to base to bolster your ranks so that you can develop better stuff and everybody's happy. But yeah, so after Ocelot teaches you all of this stuff, you summon the helicopter and you go on to do episode 3 to eliminate a Spetsnaz commander.
Can we talk about how the tutorial mission also got credits, which drove me up a wall? Like I
Yeah,
almost just
that's-
started screaming. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's a little too much, I think.
Yeah, Miller pokes
they
fun
all-
at the box
every-
thing, by the way. I don't know if you remember, but like, so they didn't have a box in Ground Zeroes, and they almost didn't have boxes in this game. But fans were very pissed, and so Miller has a line that's kind of poking fun at that. When you go through the tutorial of the boxes, Miller goes, "Doesn't seem so useful to me, but they wanted it on the list," and it's like, okay. Or I guess
it's-
Ocelot says that. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's another example of Hideo Kojima hate fucking his fans, but whatever.
Yep.
I know the boxes. I rarely use the box in this game, except
I use it just for
for
the wandering mother base side mission.
that's exactly what. Yeah, it's super easy to do those missions if you have the box. But yeah, so we'll talk about that more in part 3 as well. Hero's Way, nothing. This is not in the story. The next 3 are not story sensitive missions.
Yeah.
So
Do we want to just talk about like
them.
what they are and just kind of move on and
Yeah,
chime in
so-
if there's something worth talking about?
Yeah, I don't think so. I did want to bring up here that in like the first like between 3 and 5, you can find little baby wolf puppy on the field, and if you Fulton them back to base, if you hear a little barking, find the barking, and you can Fulton this little puppy back to base
boy?
and
Metal Gear Babies.
little cute boy. Yeah, Metal Gear Babies, and you get a little wolf puppy that becomes a fucking badass killing machine.
I wish I could have kept him as a puppy, but still have
yeah.
all the killing opportunities.
That'd be great. But yeah, so episode 3 is A Hero's Way, where you have to just kind of eliminate a Spetsnaz soldier that's hiding out in a heavily guarded enemy base. Episode 4 is C2W, where Snake must infiltrate like a camp to destroy comms equipment to prevent
Yeah, these are
communication
fairly
to and
easy
from.
too.
Yeah, and they're fun. Like the C2W is like you use C4 to blow up the comms equipment, and like planting them and running around and not exploding them, just exploding them all at once, I think is what I did, and it was great.
Yeah, CTW is super easy whenever you unlock the helicopter landing zone that's right in front of the base, because you can actually shoot all of the shit from the helicopter before you land, and it just S ranks the whole mission,
I didn't
which is
know that.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then episode 5 is Over the Fence. You have to rescue a defecting scientist, a Soviet scientist, rescue him from the enemy, and you discover that this is the same scientist that made Snake's rad robot hand. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, some of these missions I will say, like, I get, and they kind of tell you off the bat that, like, 3, 4, and 5 are kind of not story related, because Miller is like, we got to take some odd jobs to build up Mother Base. So it kind of feels like padding. But, like,
Yeah.
one of the things that we more than likely aren't going to talk about unless it's worth talking about on the side stuff episode is, like, you do get a bunch of, like, cassette tapes and, like, recruits that have different abilities for you to do research, and you do get, like, just, like, badge art that you can unlock for your customization and all that stuff, like, over the course of playing all these different extra ops or whatever, the main episode ops.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll probably talk about that a little bit more later on.
Yeah, should we talk about how side ops work? It's just like Peace Walker, but there is going to be one that is a mandatory side op, which sounds like a contradiction, because it is.
Yeah. Yeah. There's mandatory side ops and important side ops that you kind of have to do. It's very strange. But yeah, side ops are basically just like you can undertake different missions on the field. They're just at different points in the map. Go in, do an objective, and the mission's complete, and then you can just go do other stuff. So it's basically like not related to the story until it is. You can just kind of do stuff. There's a couple different types.
Yeah, pro tip, when you beat the side op and you get the saving logo in the top right, just fucking hard escape to the ACC. Like, you don't have to get picked back up or anything. You can just bounce out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and it makes it way easier if you've infiltrated. You don't feel like exfiltrating. It makes it way easier. So do that. Episode 6 is the first story mission since, I guess, technically episode 1. Called Where Do the Bees Sleep? And you have to go in and bring back a experimental rocket launcher called the Honeybee. It was given to some Mujahideen soldiers by the CIA, but they were wiped out mysteriously, and you have to go rescue it before the Soviets get to it. I got Pequot blown up.
Oh no! How did you do that?
I panicked when I saw the gunship kind of circling the area, so I summoned Pequod to deal with it, and then it took out the gunship, but it took too much fire from the AA stuff, and he blew up. So he blew up, but it was fine.
What happens when he dies? I don't think I've ever killed him.
They just replaced him with another Pequod.
Oh. That's
There's
kind of
infinitely
depressing.
spawning Pequods. Yeah.
Good old.
Punished Venom Pequod.
I love it.
um,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah,
real
so
quick, I want to point out that the credits completely give away these fucking missions, and it's really irritating.
oh
to
yeah,
me.
it's annoying. Like the beginning of this mission tells you that you're going to be dealing with the skulls. You're going to be dealing with something called Sahelanthropus. You're going to be dealing with Skullface. Like, it tells you ahead of the mission what's going to happen. And I hate
Yeah,
that.
I got to
Like,
the
let
point
me
where
be
I literally,
surprised.
I look down while the credits play at the beginning of every one of these episodes, just to like keep the magic alive.
Yeah, so it's a little it's rough and it sucks. But whatever. But yeah, so so once you find the you extract the prisoner that these guys are trying to get to find the honeybee, and then you can go find the honeybee. And then once you do it, you walk out and a bunch of mist shows up. And I don't think I noticed the credits at this point. And I said out loud, oh, fuck me. But yeah, so because getting like once the helicopter went loud, like getting to the honeybee wasn't that difficult for me.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
whole
think it would have
mission
been
for
that
me wasn't
difficult.
too bad. I literally did like perfect stealth run, and then I got antsy and grabbed a jeep and immediately got spotted, which sucked.
Yeah, that's how it works usually. You get antsy and then you make a mistake.
Yeah. I wish right before the helicopter shows up, it kind of bummed me out because the signs and the barbed wire and the weird whatever you call those giant jacks that they use in the military, the big metal jacks.
Yeah.
When I get to that,
Barricade.
when I got to that area, I swear to God, I was like, "Oh shit, there's gonna be a minefield," and I was like, "This is dope. I'm gonna have to sneak and not get blown up at the same time." And then I'm like, "Oh, this isn't an actual minefield. This sucks." Like, I was like, "Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna ace this. Whatever." But
But yeah, our good friend Baby Mantis shows up once you walk out into this mist, and
sweet boy.
then a giant fucking hand shows up and grabs Snake. Okay,
It's Gundam.
it's Gundam. It's James P. Gundam.
Donald
and then
Anderson Gundam.
oh god, Dr. Clark Gundam.
I'm Louis Ander Gundam.
Just do this forever.
For the rest of the episode. Good old Gundam face shows up with his Gundam.
With his Gundam. No, but Skullface shows up and he's wearing a Lone Ranger mask for whatever reason.
Because it's fucking sick, and Skullface is the dopest villain who has literally no development as a character at all, ever. He's such a good villain that gets all of the potential flushed down the toilet. Like, it's so irritating.
Yeah. But yeah, he essentially tells Snake that you'll see the bigger picture eventually, and then sets the skulls on him.
The way he says boss definitely made me think Skullface knew something was up.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so
he
too.
says it in a very condescending, like, boss. And I'm just like, oh, you know.
Yeah, it's very strange. He knows something's up. It could be taken as like he knew the boss, and so he's mocking Big Boss because he's not really the boss. The boss is the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the big hand drops Snake and causes like, what could that be? And you're like, well, in my head I was like, it's a fucking Metal Gear, you fucker. Like, what do you think it is? But yeah,
It's a
so
Shagohod spoiler.
it's Shagohod 2.0. But yeah, so I don't know how you fought the skulls, but Kaz says maybe it's time to see what the honeybee can do, and I was like, yeah, it is.
Oh, I
So just
ran.
blew all
I
this-
literally pressed in L3.
You ran?
And I never looked back.
Oh man, no, I blew those motherfuckers up.
I was like, your boy did not have time for this, and I just I sprinted and just juked those motherfuckers until I got.
Oh god.
It was kind of.
Oh yeah, no,
amazing, actually.
I blew them up, and then you can Fulton all of the, because when you kill them when they go away, all of the puppet, like the controlled guys, like collapse. And you can just Fulton them.
Well, my only problem with that is like you get so many A+ and AA and S crew members from the rewards that like anybody less than a C, I was like, fuck you, dude. I don't need you. Bye. So like I kind of only abducted like 1 or 2 people.
I took up that mentality as the game went on, but I was just Fultoning everybody at the beginning.
Well, they give you so many Fultons that it less becomes I want to recruit you and more becomes I just want to get you off the field so I don't have to deal with you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it's like if I Fulton you, I don't have to worry about you waking up again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it just to make everything easier. Yeah, for sure. I never ran into a time where they did wake up though. Like if I just left them.
Yeah, if you leave them stunned, I notice that they do wake up after like a minute or 2. If you leave them sleepy, I think they can wake up if something hits them. Like I think I accidentally threw a dude on top of another dude, and the sleeping dude woke up or something. So I just kind of got paranoid and was like, I'm gonna clear the field if I abducted people. Half the time it wasn't because I wanted to recruit them; it was just to like get them out of my face.
Yeah, choking them out keeps them down pretty. I think like just like chucking them and punching them, knocking them out like that doesn't keep them down for long, but choking them out keeps them down for a while too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think for the most part too, when you're doing side ops, they don't give you ranks. So I just did not give a shit about side ops. I would like roll in, literally mow down everybody Rambo style, and then just walk out. Like I was like, I got business to take care of.
So that's it again for a while as far as story missions. We've got episode 7, Red Billy Bass.
We get
Red
teenage
Brass.
pup stuff here too. Don't forget.
You do get teenage. So that's the other thing. If you keep going back to Mother Base, you get to kind of see how Dee Dee is developing, and he licks Big Boss covered in blood, which is cool.
My notes are real weird and all over the place because like I never go back to Mother Base, and so like every once in a while when Miller's like, hey boss, if you got some time, maybe consider coming back, and I'm like, way to passively aggressively make me come back, you asshole. Like, I guess I'm coming home now.
Do it for the boys. Like it becomes that, like legitimately.
Yeah, every single time he's like, boss, we miss you, come say hey to your family, and I'm like, I'll punch some boys, get some morale, and take a shower. That's all dad does.
They fucking get off on that shit. They love getting beat
yeah,
up by
they're
boss.
like, dad comes home, gets drunk, and just punches us, and we love it. And it's like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah, so Red Brass, you have to eliminate some Soviet soldiers that are having a
Kristen's
meeting.
coworker
Yeah.
from the Patriot Club.
Yeah. Occupation Forces is episode 8. Snake must eliminate a Soviet base commander and the tanks that are being deployed to the base that he's at.
Dude, I had fun with this one. I legit just mortared.
Episode
the
8 or
fuck
episode
out of
9?
this. Episode 8. I mortared everybody. Like I literally just like posted up at the mortar. Everybody's like, "Where's that coming from?" And I just kept blowing everything up and then walking away. And I was like, "Mission accomplished."
That's awesome.
Oh, and throughout all these too, I just want to throw this out there really quickly. We get like engineering and medical team and intel team and all that stuff. Just like between missions, you unlock more base platforms.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with episode 9, which is called Back Up, Back Down. It's essentially a mission where you have to assist the Mujahideen and just blow up and as many armored vehicles as you can. And I loved this one.
A lot of them felt like the development team just being like, what kind of weird shit can we do with this map? But yeah, dude, the only thing about this that sucked was I at a certain point midway through there, like, and a lot of these have optional objectives, and once you beat them once, they kind of show you the full list of optionals. That way you can kind of redo it however you want. But in the middle of this, they'll be like, there's a vehicle with a dude with a hostage. Like, try to rescue it if you can. I blew all the vehicles up, and when it came time to rescue this guy, I missed the Jeep and literally was having trouble keeping up. So I said, fuck it, shot a rocket. It threw the guys out of the Jeep, but didn't blow the Jeep up. And I ran up, and the moment I picked up the hostage, the Jeep just fucking blew up and killed him. And I was livid. I was like, no!
No, that is not the hostage!
Yeah, no, that is not Big Boss.
But I had a lot of fun with that mission.
I'm gonna
for
walk
me,
into a
I don't
Burger
know
King where they have the Impossible Whopper, and I'm gonna go, no, that is not the Whopper. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is that guy? Sorry.
That got me. That was good. I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah, Sam pulls up in a helicopter. I open the side door and just scream from the helicopter. No, that is not the Whopper. I don't know why. I think some of the dudes from I think it was like Nitroid and like Snake Soup and some other people just started sharing like Snake screaming as like a meme, and I love that fucking meme. Like, no, that's not the insert anything. Like, so good.
It's such a good meme, but for just the idea of me going to a fucking Burger King and screaming, no, that is not the Whopper. I don't know why this is so funny.
I love it. I always worry going into these episodes that we're not going to have any good laughs, but goddamn, we always do. It's
oh my god, it's so good. Oh, I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so episode 9. So after this mission, for me at least, this is when one, I was told that Quiet was at large. The deadly sniper, Stephanie Justin.
I got this after episode 8 for me. Or no,
okay.
I did episode 8 and then a side op, and that's when they mentioned.
Oh, because it's all based on timing. So it all depends on what missions you get when they tell you things and how many missions you do.
Gotcha.
And I did a couple missions out of order, so this one just happened to be the one that I got it afterwards. This is also the mission that Dee Dee was available as a buddy for me.
Oh, nice. I didn't get Dee Dee until Africa.
Really?
Yeah. Again, I think it's because I just never went back to Mother Base.
Yeah, you got to do that, dog. Ha, dog.
Yeah.
Ha.
Do we want to talk about the Quiet fight right now?
Yeah. Well, we have one more episode. Episode 10, Angel with Broken Wings. You have to rescue a Mujahideen rebel named Malak, whose village was wiped out without a trace, and it kind of ties into what's been going on with like the all the places that are being eliminated by the skulls and what have you, but it's not really critical to the story.
Yeah, I think I did mission 10 literally as the last mission that I did in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it's weird. I got cloaked in silence while I wasn't doing an extra op for Huey or any of the other things. I was just doing a random extra op to get a prisoner from the power plant, and it just like randomly triggered for me because I had to go through.
Gosh, so I think it just might be if you're going to the power plant.
Yeah.
Because how it happened for me was there is an important side up 82 where you have to go rescue Huey. He sent out some call for rescue, and you have to infiltrate the base he's being held
you
at.
Guys to rescue him? He knows shit's gonna
fucking
get
does he
bad.
know? Does he fucking know who he's calling? Like a fuck.
Well, I don't even think he does, because when you show up, he doesn't even know who the fuck you are.
Oh yeah. He's
which is
like,
weird.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so as you're going, so for me, this is how it happened. I guess if you're going to, as long as you know that Quiet is at large, I guess it can happen if you go to the power plant, going through the ruins. But for me, I was on my way to go get Huey, and you get shot at, which is super cool. And it kind of shifts into episode 12, right?
I got 11. Yeah, I got 11.
11, yeah. So it shifts into episode 11, which is Cloaked in Silence, where you have to battle Quiet. And if y'all think that I did anything other than supply drop shit on her, you are fucking smoking dope.
Yeah, I was gonna do it seriously, and then I was like, I've never done the supply drop thing. Let me just test it out. And boy, oh boy, does she just sit there and take a bunch of cardboard boxes to the dome.
Yep, it takes 2 to knock her out for the count. I thought about doing it legitimately this time, and then I got like non-flashbacks to my battle with Sniper Wolf in the first game. So I was just like, you know what? No. So I just drop boxes on her. It's so funny and so gratifying.
Yeah, it's very funny to me. Do you know if you kill her, does it lock you out of the true ending?
I don't know. I never killed her.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
never
know.
killed her either, so I don't. I feel like it might, because like based on what we were talking about, where like if you don't finish her plot line, I feel like you're just fucking screwed out of that true ending.
Well, so I think they might have made a patch to it because I had the true ending, like mission 46. I had that mission unlocked before I even did a quiet exit. So
Oh, interesting.
I think they might have patched the requirements to get the true ending because they were fucking ridiculous originally.
Yeah. Well, and this is Metal Gear Solid
So
5's
that,
beginning of their weird, dead serious Stockholm syndrome with a sexualized captive nonsense, which is really gross and really weird.
yeah,
And again, I
yeah,
have nothing against sexualized characters if they are just being like sexually open. Like if they're just like fuck it, like I'm an activated, like actualized, like adult making a decision because I want to be sexy. But like in this game, it's like a weird. She's like a weird, sexy plaything that doesn't speak and is just kind of there to be your weird boob doll. It's kind
yeah,
of gross.
yeah. And they do like this. They give you some like bullshit explanation about why she's there.
I mean, she's cool. Her powers are cool. She's very, very like action oriented. Like
Yeah,
she's a
she
neat
is a
character.
badass. They
But
just
like,
give her
yeah, just like put
yeah
some fucking clothes on her. Like I don't.
to the point where like when you have her in her little prison, like she's just laying down with her fucking bra off.
Yeah,
Like
just like kicking it
it's
like she's fucking on the phone with her girlfriends on her bed,
yeah, it's
like a
fucking
16-year-old girl or something.
yeah,
And she's like
it's
showering publicly. It's very weird, man. It's like very creepy. And like all of her moves in the helicopter when you do finally get her as a buddy is just like not normal shit. It's just literally her like kind of putting her TNA like in your face, literally. I don't know.
yeah. So it's a lot. It's Quiet is a conundrum because I want to like accept her because she's cool, but she's there. She's there for sexual perversion for the most part.
Yeah, like put her in a fucking. You can put her in like a deep V sniper wolf outfit, and like that's like cleavage is fine, but like I don't need to see her whole naked body all the time.
With jiggle physics and fucking
Yeah, like come on, y'all. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
and it's even
sorry to
compounded by
SJW.
it's compounded by the fact that like you can develop an outfit for her that is her outfit that she had at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but they lock
she-
it way behind everything. So it's like, okay. I don't know. I'm sort of the opinion, and like this is also kind of like along the same lines as like quote unquote gamer fuel culture, fucking double XP weekend nonsense. It's like we're fucking adults, you guys. Like I don't, and this isn't me being like spineless. I don't want to feel uncomfortable playing a video game in a public place. And
Yeah.
like, and y'all, this is your boy who goes like to the gym and runs on a treadmill while like watching Japanese visual novels and anime. So like, not a lot makes me feel uncomfortable, but like when you're borderline showing softcore porn and like I have to play this game in front of my wife because I live with her, you don't have to make me feel like a fucking sleazeball for playing a game. Like, and that's kind of what this made me feel like.
Yep.
So anyway, that's my
Anyway.
rant over. Just imagine us saying that every time Quiet's on screen.
Yeah. So we won't bring it up again. Maybe, but just imagine that whole dialogue happening every time she's talked about. But yeah. So you knock her out. Kaz wants her to die. Ocelot's like, hold up, dude. We gotta, shit. And you can make a choice to kill her or not kill her. And we of course did not kill her. Snake captures her, and then when you're on the helicopter, Pequod discovers that a jet is tailing them, and Quiet, who had disappeared briefly while they're like going away. Well, we're like going to Mother Base. She on the helicopter. She disappears because she just does that. She reappears just in time to shoot the missile down. And then Quiet aims her rifle at the jet and like gets a headshot on the pilot while it's flying, which is fucking dope.
Sick. Yeah, I was like, woo! Like I think out loud went, woo! Like,
yeah, it was fucking dope. But yeah, they get to base and everybody's aiming guns. And then Kaz and Ocelot are arguing about what to do with her, and then Snake just yells at them and just like, "Hey, shut up!" And then she goes to her cell, and Kaz insists that he's gonna regret this.
Yeah,
and then Snake
Kiefer says his fourth line in the whole game. Kidding, I'm totally kidding.
What is it? It was pretty much, but he says, "One day we'll have to kill her, though it isn't now. When the time comes, I'll pull the trigger," or something like that.
Yeah, this is where I put my note. Who the fuck is this? Parentheses. No, that is not Big Boss. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, even in all of the weirdness of Peace Walker, even when he was like threatening to kill Chico, I don't think Big Boss ever said, when the time comes, I'll pull the trigger. Like, what kind of fucking crazy person is this?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also had a funny line here. I put Kojima really likes strong women who will submit when needed, which is very, very gross.
God. But yeah, so now you can actually go back and rescue Huey.
Real quick, Sam, I wanna ask you about because we get the Wanderer Mother Base guy first one here, which triggers a whole hullabaloo with somebody who shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see, because this is canonically for me, when I captured Quiet, it was the first time when I got to meet our new friend on the medical platform.
Do we want to talk about that here, or do we want to talk about it in part 3?
I don't know. I feel like it's so story interwoven. For the sake of time, let's just talk about it in part 3.
Okay. Yeah, because I got a whole
it's quite a lot.
That.
Yeah,
it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to take in. So we'll dedicate some
we're saying part 3 is like secrets, side ops, and extra stuff, but I think we'll more than likely also talk a lot about some of the story stuff there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so you get to go sneak through the power plant. Wasn't too difficult. But you sneak up to this gate, go through the big old gate, and you go to this like makeshift outdoor hangar, and you see a Metal Gear, and it's kind of sitting down. It kind of looks a little bit like Rex, honestly. And you see Huey arguing with Skullface, and they're arguing about AI capabilities in this Metal Gear. And Skullface goes, I love this. Who said anything about AI? And refers to the fact that Hot Coleman made this mistake 10 years ago.
And then they literally have like the same fucking punishment happen to Huey.
Yeah, like the same thing. They argue about like human control and he needs more time. And then Skullface is like, we saw the logs and we know you've been in contact with Big Boss. Are you planning on leaving us? And then says he's taking his legs back and then pushes him down the stairs. So this is the second game that Huey goes down the stairs. Huey go boom.
I put a note here that during the opening credits of this mission, 100% my brain registered the names as Benedict Shalashaska Cumberbatch. By the way, I was just like, whatever, man. I'm up late. That's what my brain saw.
Shalashaska Cumberbatch. Holy shit, that's fantastic.
We hear Sahelanthropus's name for the first time here too.
Mm-hmm. I took to calling it Sally, because
I
it's
like
easier
that.
to write Sally than it is to write Sahelanthropus every time you bring up Sally.
Yeah,
So
did
I'm
you
going
notice
to
that
call
Sally
it
had a
Sally.
Rex head? Like Sally just straight up has Rex's head, and I was like, I see what you're
Yeah.
doing.
It's yeah. So my I have it. We'll talk about this again. We'll talk about it in this next mission, which is um
Hellbound.
Hellbound. Yes. Huey has or Skullface has Huey transported to this base, and Snake has to go in and take or get Huey out. Um, um, but when I went through, a bunch of sandstorms happened,
Yeah.
and I just kind of worked my way around the building and got in.
Fun fact: I absolutely hate missions where fucking 10% or 10 minutes of the playtime is me crossing half the map.
Yep.
Like I really fucking hate that. Like maybe use a cutscene. Like there's literally nothing of substance between where you see Sally and where you get Huey. Like it's just room for you to get caught. Like there's no point. It's really dumb.
Yep. And this huge, and I hate this huge base camp too. It's the worst. I don't like it at all. There's a couple of locations where I'm just like, I fucking hate this place.
I used some strategic airstrikes. So like when I first rolled up and there's all the dudes in the walker gears, I just dropped a fucking airstrike, and then everybody was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And they all ran there because like everybody died. And I just made a beeline straight for the base, and right before I snuck in, I blew up like a whole row of tanks with another airstrike, and like no one saw me the entire time because they were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And I still got an A, even for killing like 90% of the people with airstrikes.
Yeah, I got a B. I didn't do well at all. Yeah, once you get into the base, you see this AI pod, and it says Snake, and it's the boss's AI, right? Is that what the
Yeah, so I put a note here. This actually kind of bothered me. So the boss AI pod always says Jack.
Yeah.
And she specifically says Snake, which like I don't think she's ever said before. And I also noticed that like once the cutscene's over, if you look at the pictures that are attached to the AI pod, there's explicitly a picture of Strangelove holding a little baby boy who's got long hair and is wearing glasses and looks 100% like Otacon. And so
well, they explore
Yeah.
this
And
later.
I was just like, oh, I was like, I'm pretty positive Strangelove is just Hal's birth mother.
Well, they explicitly say that.
Okay, cool. I couldn't remember if they
Later.
said it or not. So when I saw the picture, I
Yeah,
was like,
there's-
fuck, I've never seen this picture before.
Yeah, they explicitly state. Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah, so Huey is like Snake is startled, and Huey's like, it's just a machine, and then realizes who came for him, and
But it takes
Snake
him a
cuts the
minute.
cable.
He
It
literally
does. It takes him a
stares
little
at
bit.
Snake's face for a while. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what the significance of that is.
Yeah, me either, but I mean, whatever. He never questions it. He never delays or questions it again, so whatever. Maybe it's just Huey coming to grips with the fact that he's fucked.
Maybe either that or maybe we don't look like who we're supposed to look like. I don't know.
The real me is me. Are you sure the real you is you?
Oh shit! Did you take the walker gear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is the very first time I ever did, and holy shit, is it way easier to get out of here with the walker gear.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great. But yeah, so you cut the cables from the robo leg and bags Huey's head, and you get out of here. And when you get to the LZ, Huey's claiming that he thought the inspection was legit, and he blames Snake for the assault, and was like, we shouldn't have had a nuke in the first place, and that's why Mother Base was destroyed, and blah blah blah, and said that Cypher threatened to kill him, and blah blah blah. Huey becomes insufferable.
I feel like this is a different character, like tonally. Like this does not
Yeah.
feel like Huey from Peace Walker.
It doesn't. Like he
Like,
is
at all.
insufferable. Yeah. And like I get why James doesn't like him But it's not like the Huey from Peace Walker. Like, it's
Yeah,
not.
who
This
wrote
is
this? Like, who is this character? That's why. I don't know. The culpability of whether or not this is like a coherent, intentional, sort of like unreliable narrator flashback sequence with like some questionable items is very curious to me, because I don't buy that this is the same character. He just feels too weird.
But yeah, so crazy shit. You get to the LZ and this big ass boy falls from the sky. And it's Sally, who is on his hind legs.
Hi, Bubba.
Yeah. And it's this is when you hear the name Sahelanthropus. Huey calls it Sahelanthropus, and the baby mantis is there, and it's clear that they are tied together in some way. And my theory here is that because in the hangar, Sally is just kind of chilling and it looks like Rex, right? I think that Mantis's power gave it the ability to do all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
I think, personally. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, so this was some of the most stressful shit in my life. Because you have to like get out of its sight and then get to an LZ to get out of its way. And the walker gear helped me outpace Sally. But once I got near the LZ, I got off of Sally and did like this weird fling, and I hid behind a rocky outcropping. And this fucking thing basically stood on top of me, and my heart was beating out of my chest. I was so nervous it was going to spot me. But I guess it was in its blind spot and it never saw me, and and I was too close to it for its like little drones to see me. So I just stayed the fuck still, and it walked away, and I extracted the walker gear and got in the chopper and left.
Nice. I literally just booked it and didn't have it do anything.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was like on my ass most of the time, and like this, it was it was stress. It was stressful. But yeah, you get on the helicopter and you shoot down some missiles, and then it just kind of launches at you in slow motion, which is fucking terrifying. But then you shoot it down and you go away, and Huey is very confused about how they completed Sally without him, and Snake just it was kind of funny, just like, fuck are you doing, and puts the hood back on him.
Yeah.
And back at Mother Base, they question Huey about what was going on, and Huey says that he didn't do anything, and he claims that he's on their side, and Kaz is just like, he's the only one that didn't lose anything, he's the odd one out, and then like bend his robot legs backwards to really fuck up his real legs, and it was rough to watch. And Kaz says that the truth serum isn't working, and that he must have gotten some kind of procedure or gene therapy to prevent
goof juice.
truth. Goof juice. Yeah, so you find out that the reason why Cypher, and then they leave, and the reason why Cypher pulled the plug in Afghanistan is because funding was going to Central Africa for new research, and now you have to go to Africa. He says the work in Africa is to find the missing piece for the weapon, because Sally alone is not enough to cause a revolution in military affairs, or an RMA they call it. So yeah, it's time to go to bless the rains down in Africa. You also discover post mission here that Zero was not the one that called the assault on Mother Base, because by the time the order would have been given 9 years ago, Zero would have already been bedridden and unable to do anything, and Skullface would have been the one who did that. And you also, for me here, this was also when I got I got Quiet as my buddy.
Nice.
And then we
I think I
merge
got it at the
into
same time.
episode. Yeah. And then we go into episode 13, Pitch Dark. Or as I like to call it, Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Best Mountain Dew, don't at me. Fuck off.
Yeah, I literally wrote episode 13, 0 Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
Best Mountain Dew since Punished Venom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this mission's fun. I think much like Afghanistan, it's like the first mission in the new zone is pretty dope.
The difficulty for me here spiked hard. I had the fucking hardest time doing this.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like I didn't have a hard time in the oil fields, but I had a hard time in like that initial village.
No, it was the village wasn't what did it for me. It was the oil field, like the area where you had to shut down the pump and stuff like that. I just couldn't. Like, people were like getting suspicious of me every turn, and I was just like, fuck, man. Eventually I just went loud and knocked everybody. I had at this point I had developed a stun assault rifle, so I was just knocking everybody out. And by the time everything was done, I was just like, okay, everybody is down. I'll just extract people.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't want to bring Quiet with me because like all she can do at first is kill people, and I'm like, no, I'm all right.
Yeah. I got a B on this, which was surprising for me.
Yeah, I think I also got a B, but
you notice that once everything's done, these bodies with these weird things, their organs aren't looking the best, and Snake is like, what's going on before he leaves? And then you find out that the company Saner, who is owner of the oil field, is actually a shell company.
Reading Steiner? Is that what you said?
Saner.
No, I know. I was making a Steins Gate joke.
Oh god, sorry. Yeah, Saner.
It's like
is
one of my Japanese animes.
Oh my god, is a shell corporation. That somebody is operating from the shadows.
More like a BP corporation, am I right?
I'm
I'm the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, so episode 14, Lingua Franca. This is where you get you have to tail an Afrikaans interpreter and find a key British person named the Viscount.
Yeah, if you don't bag and tag this guy, you will be in the dark language-wise until a side op populates.
Yeah, so I of course did that. You get a side up 111, which is visiting Quiet.
More like creeping on Quiet, but
yeah, where Ocelot will just kind of tell you all the bullshit about why she has to wear a bikini all the time.
He's like, look, Snake, look at those tatas.
Yeah, she photosynthesizes and drinks water through her skin, I guess. So, and they explain why she does this later, but they do not explain why she and other female people who have this thing that cause her to do this have to wear bikinis.
Yeah. What about the men? Why are the men covered up?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to mention too really quickly. I think this kind of expels the rumor where they're like, "Oh, she's loyal to Venom. That's why she was fighting for her life on the helicopter." Nah, dog. I think it's because we were flying over water and she didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Because they do talk about how if her skin is covered up or if she's submerged in water, she will suffocate.
Yeah. And like she can disappear, she cannot teleport. So that's...
Yeah. I like when she disappears, there's like a split frame where you just see her muscles.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my favorite. To be honest,
that's pretty cool.
There's a weird like sex fetish skin. So I discovered that this is a fetish.
Oh, like the gold and the silver skin?
No, not those ones. The blood skin.
Oh yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah, there's a poster that was made famous in Japan where it's Venom and Quiet both just covered in blood, and I discovered by looking up images for shit that I need to pull for the website and whatnot, that I guess Quiet covered in blood is kind of a weird, there's like a weird women covered in oil and blood and lubricant fetish of just like flesh covered in blood that people are turned on by. And I kind of feel like they're catering to that, and it's kind of gross.
That's very gross.
Yeah, it's not cool. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to get that in there.
Yeah, that's very weird. Episode 15, Footprints of Phantoms. You have to eliminate. Cypher gave these African forces some walker gears that you have to eliminate. Of course,
Another really easy opportunity to blow all that shit up with your Gatling gun from the helicopter.
Yep.
I blew up the AA gun previously, like while I was exploring. So I didn't get shot down or anything, and you can just like super quickly ace this thing by like flying down and just blowing everybody up.
Yeah, I did not do that. I extracted all of them, all of the walker gears.
I don't know if it did this for you, and I don't know if it's tied to the online or what. I just had like a fuck ton of vehicles in my mother base inventory, like all the time. Like, I mean, I literally had like hundreds of Jeeps and hundreds of walker gears just like laying around. Like, we were lousy with Jeeps for some reason.
Lousy with Jeeps.
And so I just like sold a bunch of Jeeps and was like, I'm going to develop everything. Like, where'd all these Jeeps come from?
Sold the Jeeps.
I want to see a commercial where like Mother Base is just a fucking cheap Jeep emporium.
A Jeep dealership.
Yeah.
I'm Punished Venom Snake. Get your Jeep 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
Here at
Selling
Mother
cars
Base.
like candy bars down here at the Mother Base. You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
You can find us on the corner of 5th and Euclid in the Seychelles. Because aren't those places always
so
on the
weird.
corner of like 5th and Euclid or something like that?
There's a dealership on the corner of 5th and Euclid, like in my town. So that's very weird that you said that, Sam. Do you live here?
Maybe.
Across the street from the motherfucker next to the Waffle House.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So episode 16 is Trader's Caravan. You must extract a truck and its contents before they get to Cypher.
I hate this. This is the one with the airport, right?
Yeah, the airport. You have to like it's.
I saw somebody S rank this fucking thing in like a minute 18 or something wild. Like I'm not a fan of this one.
It took me 15 minutes to do it. I got an A, but I used the chicken hat and it doesn't work. The chicken head doesn't work on the skulls.
Chicken head's very different than the chicken hat, Sam.
Oh God, chicken hat does not work on the skulls. God damn it, Alessio.
I was like, that boy a chicken head.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to steal a whole ass truck from a convoy. But if you wait for it at the airport, it'll kind of be parked there for a while.
What's it filled with? It's like filled with like dirty mustard or like the King in Yellow or something. What is it? They're like, this has got straight doo-doo butter. We got to pay for it.
Fucking gross. There were drums of malachite and a container containing yellow cake, which
that's what it is. Yellow cake,
nuclear urinal cake. Doo-doo
cornbread.
Butter.
Get that cornbread.
Get that cornbread. But yeah, so you have to go into this airport.
It's a fun mission. It's one of those ones where the skulls kind of sneak up on you.
Yeah, when you get to the truck, the skulls pop out of it.
I feel like they're like the Dr. Claw of Metal Gear Solid 5. They're just like, I'll get you, Venom, and it's like, all right.
I got no. They pop out of the truck and you get this overwhelming feeling that this was a trap. But in any case, I kept on having to restart because I thought stupidly that I could get in the truck and just drive it away.
Hey, I've done that before. Like, you joke, but I've totally done that before.
It handles like shit.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Yeah, I drove that fucker like on one wheel, like out the door, because they like rack it up real hard.
And they're everywhere, so there's no way to stealth past them.
You can run them over with the truck. That's a lot of fun.
Can you? Oh, that's dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think they kind of damage the truck though, because they've got like that rock skin shit going on.
Yeah. Well, I just
these are the Thing boys. I think these are the Thing boy skulls. Yeah, they scream it's clobbering time. Yep.
That's clobbering time. I just used rockets on them until they were all dead, and then I fultoned all the boys.
Nice.
I got an A, which shocked me. So I wonder if I would have gotten an S if I hadn't have used the chicken hat in futility. But whatever. But yeah, so you get that stuff in the truck, the yellow cake, the doo-doo butter, and the malachite.
Yeah, you get the birthday
And you
cake.
get the birthday cake, the birthday cake flavored ice cream, the Fudgy the Whale cake from Baskin Robbins.
That'd be amazing if that's what it was.
Fudgy the Whale cake. Episode 17, you go to rescue these two Intel team members that are being held captive by the CFA.
I didn't do that. I was like, maybe they shouldn't have gotten caught. Fuck.
Oh God, damn. But yeah. And then you get episode 18, Blood Runs Deep, and you have to rescue some soldiers called the Mabele Squad. Did you have any trouble getting into the place where they were?
The mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how this pans out.
I am also not a big fan of how this pans out. It's just very wide open. There's a helicopter flying around. There's no real good way to do it.
Yeah, I got fed up eventually and just threw on the battle dress and just fucking rocked that helicopter with a rocket launcher.
Hell yeah. I just fucking one of them almost spotted me, and what I wound up doing, it was suspicious of me, and I hid under a table underneath a tent, like at one of those like open covered platforms. Yeah. And it just kind of circled around that for a while. Yeah. And it kind of circled around that for a while looking for me before it finally flew away, and I was just like, holy shit. But
they're a little unpredictable because it's like really hard to tell where they're looking, I think, at any given moment, other than like the vibration can kind of tip you off. But I've noticed that like if you're just like prone the whole time, like they don't really fuck with you.
Yeah. But yeah, so you get into this mine, and Snake picks this lock, and you find out that the soldiers you're looking for are actually children.
Yay.
And they all reach their hands out of this cage and hand Snake diamonds as if to like bargain for their lives or something like that. And Kaz goes that they've only got two options, heaven or hell, and Snake says there's another option, and Kaz says outer heaven.
Oh God.
And then says that the tape's rolling, and Snake fires a gun into the cell, and then it is revealed that he fired into the back of the cell and did not kill the children to make it sound good for the tapes, because the client wants the Belly Squad dead. And that
couldn't they have recorded Snake shooting anywhere and sent that to the client?
In theory, yeah.
Like if they're just recording audio, like what? Well, and so this clip got overused like a motherfucker during the trailers before the release of the game. Mm-hmm. Because it was like splicing that with like the walking down the hall from part 2 that we'll cover next time of him shape-shifting or whatever, and it's just like I'm already a demon, and it's like, oh my God, is Snake shooting children? What is this game? And then you see the cutscene and you're like, oh, this is just a non sequitur random cutscene. Okay, cool.
But so they Snake gets them out of there, and you find out that one is injured, and Snake has to carry him, and then you have to get them out. And Alessio, can you talk to me about how bullshit this is?
This is probably like, so I have very few sticking points in this game where there aren't different ways to go about it. But in this, pretty sure if you get spotted at all, it's over, right?
It's not over, but it's basically over.
Yeah, it's intense. And so like, I remember that this might be the most times I've had to restart checkpoints in this whole game. And this was the first time I played it and this time that I played it. It sucks. You just have to like kind of escort mission these boys, and for me at least, like I use that trank gun so much that everybody just fucking has helmets, and I just feel like the way that they've got everybody stationed, it's just like a real pain in the ass. Like for me, this was like the big difficulty spike where I was like, oh my God, like
yeah.
And you end up spending so much fucking GMP just like re-equipping ammo and like launching like airstrikes and all kinds of shit just to like get through this. So,
and they also don't like listen to you very well when you tell them.
No, the AI kind of sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it took me a while to get through this, but I eventually did. It's, there's not a whole lot of ways to go about it, so you just have to fucking
there's a bonus objective in the Zero Mountain Dew Pitch Dark 30 mission where you one of the side objectives is also rescuing a bunch of kids. So this might not be the first time that you rescue kids. But if you kill kids ever, Miller chastises you and terminates the mission, even though he was telling you to kill kids in Ground Zeroes. So
Yep.
pick a lane.
Whatever. But yeah, so I got an S rank on this somehow.
Holy shit! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Big ups to Sam.
I don't know how, but I did. So whatever. But yeah, you take the kids back to Mother Base, and they're all bewildered, and one of them bumps into Kaz, and Kaz says that
He like hits him with his fucking he's just like, I'm old man Kaz.
Yeah, and just flaps him with his cane. He's just like,
yeah, he's like, really get off my lawn.
Especially ones with guns, and then flaps him with a cane. And then the kid takes Snake's gun and aims it at Kaz, and Snake goes, he's a natural, which is kind of fucked up. And Kaz with his missing arm disarms the kid, and the children follow their injured companion. And Kaz explains that they've expanded the housing on Mother Base, and that the kids will have separate quarters where they'll learn how to read and write and do basic jobs.
That was Kojima being like, we're not abducting child soldiers to make them child soldiers. We're giving them educations. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. And then Kaz says that there's no room for angels in their heaven.
Ugh.
So, whatever.
And we all
episode
rolled
19 episode 19 is to eliminate a PF commander called the Major, and you have to follow his subordinate to get him for a meeting. So that was something. After this mission for me, you get called back to Mother Base, and Huey has an idea to develop a true battle gear.
Too bad we'll never ever use it, because this game didn't complete that part of the game. Yeah, so for everybody at home, I think the context here is that they intentionally planned for you to pilot this battle gear, but it was cut late in development, so Huey's just forever working on this thing, and you can keep checking on him, but you will never be able to deploy it.
Yeah, and it gets complete after a while, but like you never.
Yeah, I think you can use it in the deployment missions. I think.
I've tried. I tried. I can't.
Okay, but yeah, you were supposed to be able to drive it around. So.
Yeah. Episode 20 is Voices.
The creepiest mission in the whole game.
Yeah, this mission's fucked. Well, I'd argue that this is tied with another mission that's pretty fucking creepy.
Oh,
in chapter 2.
Yeah. You're talking about the Mother Base stuff?
Yeah. But this one is pretty goddamn creepy. You have to investigate somewhere. The children told you about this place called the Devil House, where people from the mine disappear to, according to the children, and that Saner is involved with this place, so that you have to go and investigate, because the boys' leader, Shabani, was taken there. But yeah, so Ocelot says the only way is through, but I'm a pre-planner, and so I went all the way around, and there's a little gap in the mountain to the northeast that lets you forgo the station entirely.
There's a gap in the door?
Yeah, there's a gap in the door. It's an alternate reality. But yeah, there's a couple smaller guard posts, but yeah, you can get to...
Did you skip the ghost town then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
If you go that bridge,
I'm pretty sure there are skulls and shit hidden above that little ghost town, and that part has always fucked with me. So good on you.
That's what I was worried about, because like as you approach there's a bridge here, there's this valley, and you just get some mist. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think. But I never. Way. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I just when you get to the bridge, if you drop down and climb up the other side, you can there's a gap near these trees where you can get through, and you don't have to deal with anybody. Nice. There's a small guard post with these like two guards, one of them sleeping, the other one's up, and they kind of alternate. In this tent was a radio playing a broadcast from PT.
I wish you could take the tape. I don't think you can.
I don't think so either. It'd be cool if you could, though. You can't. Yeah. I tried. But yeah, so I guess you went through this section then. I guess the first time, because
yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there are lady skulls in the grass in this area.
No,
I think.
no.
Yeah, that might be a later mission. I can't remember. Like,
Oh,
spoiler alert: the second
no.
half of this game, they repeat a ton of these missions.
Yeah.
And thankfully, that means that in part 2, when we cover it, a lot of it will be, hey, remember that one time? You do it again. But yeah, let's talk about the creepy fucking hell house, the house of 1,000
Yeah.
corpses. This is insane.
Yeah, you get to this area and there is
I was
unnervingly
shook
no
the
enemies
first time
anywhere.
I saw this.
Oh god, it's fucking crazy. You go to this building and the first thing you see is just this blood coming from the door. And when you walk in, and I don't know if it was my brain fucking with me or if this actually happened, a body bag kind of like jolts and moves and then drops and then never moves again.
I feel like that did happen to me too. I heard something. I don't think I saw it.
Okay, it made me jump and I was very skeezed out.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I was also playing this very, very late. So
Same. So yeah, it could be. But yeah, so you go through this building and there's just all these emaciated bodies
yeah,
everywhere.
their chest cavities are like torn open
Yeah.
and shit. It's
Yeah.
real fucked up.
It is.
Aren't there
not...
kids' bodies too? It's not just adults.
Yeah, no, there's like all kinds of different bodies. Yeah. Snake pulls a bandage off of its neck and you find that there is a cord coming from it and he pulls the cord out and it's a headphone. And he listens to the headphone for a second and then pulls the cloth back from its chest and its lungs are like blue and puffed out and they're kind of like the bodies that were at the oil field. When you move into the next room, there's a whole row of all these people. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the headphone thing kind of reminded me of Chico's headphone thing from Ground Zeroes.
Yeah. But yeah, so you move on and you find Shabani and he's developing symptoms, and he's shaking and shivering. And he gives Snake a necklace, and Snake tries to tell him that his boys sent him, and then Snake cuts Shabani free, and then Skullface wanders into the next room, and someone whispers "kill me" to him, and Skullface says that in Russian he says I will take your regret and sorrow unto myself, rest in peace, and shoots the guy. And this causes Shabani to freak out as he asks to be killed, and Snake tries to keep him quiet, but Skullface sees Snake and aims a gun at him, and then Skullface puts the gun away and tells Snake to burn with the rest of them. And then Baby Manta shows up and summons the man on fire, and the man on fire like randomly freezes in place for a second, and Snake kind of gets away because he's choking Snake, and Snake kind of gets away for a second. And then you turn around and you see Mantis hovering over Shabani, and Shabani's kind of choking and then dies. And then the man on fire stops being unfreeze. So the thought here is that Mantis was like granting Shabani's wish to die, I guess. And that's why Man on Fire frees, because he was focusing his energy elsewhere.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was the case or if the guy was dying because of the parasites.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I have no idea. Because like people who are further along in the disease were still alive. And so I think the fact that Man on Fire froze there tells me that something happened with Mantis.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also feel like Skullface was speaking in Russian not to accidentally trigger some of these like weird parasitic things.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll learn more about this stuff later. I think it'll be in the next episode.
Yeah, next episode for sure. And then once the Man on Fire resumes his assault, I think this might be one of the very few times, if not the only time in the series, somebody says the F word, but Kaz yells,
I was caught off guard.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah. And so you run out of the building, and then you have
Kaz is like Kaz is off the fucking reservation. Kaz is like, motherfucker. I have expected Venom to be like, we don't use words like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so you have to fight Skullface.
Man on Fire, you mean?
Or yeah, Man on Fire.
Did you have the water gun developed at this point? Because I definitely did, and it was real goofy.
No, I didn't, but I realized after the fact that yeah.
Yeah, you. I think the whole point of this is you just lure him under the water tower, right?
Yeah, and you shoot the water, you blow up the water towers and douse him, and then after a little bit, you can summon the chopper and get out of there. I think you can do it after one. I think that's the easiest way to do it. You can technically like quote kill him, but it's very difficult. But yeah, so you douse him with a water tower, summon the helicopter. I summoned the helicopter before the water tower because he does show up. Yeah, so he does show up pretty quickly. So that's nice. And then you just get out of there.
Yay!
Yeah. And after the mission, is Ocelot or Kaz? I always get them mixed up in the post mission stuff. But one of the mentions that Skullface.
Benedict Shalashaska Cumberbatch.
Yeah, Cumberbatch. Yeah. But yeah, Skullface is in Africa working behind the scenes with the Man on Fire at his beck and call, and wonders what's happening at the Devil's House and how it connects to the oil field. And Kaz is upset that the Man on Fire pretty much burnt everything down, but that they were recording audio while Snake was there, and that Kaz says they were conduct a thorough analysis of the recordings. And Snake gives one of the children Shamani's necklace, and the kid puts it on before Snake walks off and smokes his e-cigar.
That is not Big Boss.
So episode 21 gets interrupted by episode 22, but we'll talk about episode 21 first. Yeah. Which is another like non sequitur mission. You have to infiltrate the airport because an arms dealer is going to be investigating a CFA outpost, and our job is to eliminate the CFA official while this is happening.
This was a very Hitman feeling to me.
Very much so. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it was actually one of my favorite missions. The first time that I cleared it, just to clear it, I literally like posted up across the way and just fucking rocket launched the helicopter as soon as it touched down, and just got them both with the one, which cracked me up.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So I was going extract happy, and I was in a warehouse, that little warehouse off to the side, and they were walking by there. I tranquilized the arms dealer. The CFA official got really suspicious, turned around, and I went up and choked him out, and then I extracted both of them and ran.
Oh, nice. That's
it was
awesome.
pretty bad. It was pretty badass. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun mission. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
do you know if you can steal the helicopter, like when it comes down? Because it's a small one. Can you pilot it? I don't think you can.
I did not. I didn't try. I honestly don't know.
I was going to say this game would just straight up turn into mercenaries if that was the case.
Just blow everything up. Fuck them. Fuck them. But yeah,
Get the fuck out of there.
Get the fuck out of there. That is not the Whopper.
That is not the Whopper.
Yeah, so episode 22 is what introduces the FOB stuff that we'll talk about in part 3 a little bit more. But as you start episode 21, you get like this emergency alert that Mother Base is under attack, and you go back to Mother Base, and you have to essentially
beat up some
infiltrate
goons.
Infiltrate your base and take out their leader. I hated this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. I think
you don't have any buddies. You don't have any supports.
Yeah, Mother Base is also just a very bland. I don't recall Mother Base being such a big shell ripoff in Peace Walker, and I just don't like how lifeless
it wasn't. I came up
feels.
like on my last on my playthrough that I was like the part when I was playing when I beat the game finally. I came to this realization that they spaced it out so much because just in case an attack like before happened, because it was all centralized before and they didn't want it to happen again. So if one place goes down, they have the rest of it that can like hold out.
Gotcha. It makes it for this weird sterile like corridor is what it feels
and it
like.
takes forever to get to anywhere. But
yeah, I feel like this mission wasn't difficult. It's just kind of bland.
Yeah.
Which
the
is
soldiers
essentially
are also kind of like semi-omniscient,
FOB.
and they travel in packs of 3 or more, and there's a lot of like open air and places where you can't hide.
Yeah, I just went ham and fucking murk these guys.
Yeah,
honestly.
I wound up doing that eventually too. It sucks. But yeah, so yeah, you find out that the guy was Mother Base staff 9 years ago, and he
This
was
is the
afraid that
mosquito
Cleanup
one,
Squad
right?
would. The
This is
mosquito
like,
one, yeah.
Yeah, this is so and so mosquito. I can't remember what the handle is.
I think it's just mosquito.
Oh, okay.
But he was afraid that he lived in hiding because he was afraid a Cleanup Squad was going to come after him, and that the isolation screwed with his sense of loyalty. And then he heard a rumor that Snake was the one who orchestrated the attack himself, and Mosquito was like, "I'll build my own PF, a perfect copy of MSF," and then tried to take over Mother Base. But yeah.
Yeah, I wish that the weird rumor thing would have turned into some sort of weird plot twist at some point. Could have been some missed opportunity stuff with Skullface, but as we know, he's the dark side of Big Boss. But I guess not.
And then the final mission we're going to talk about is episode 23, The White Mamba.
Yay!
And we have to capture the commander of the child soldiers that have taken over Wale Masa Village.
I wonder if this is going to be a child as well.
I don't know, but can I tell you, fuck these kids and fuck Eli and his
Yeah.
dashy, jumpy piece of shit ass.
It's funny to me that the leader of the all African boy squad is somebody with a like British expansionist accent. I'm like, okay, like this is some subtle like race commentary, I think.
Yeah. So getting to the ship
Sucks.
wasn't. No, I didn't have too much trouble.
Oh,
It was
okay.
actually
Oh, it's after, right? I think after
Yeah.
the ship is when all the little kids are all over the base.
yeah. So I found out after the fact that Eli at one point, if you get there fast enough, will come out and like observe the water from the ship, and you can snipe him. You can like trank snipe him from that position, and it'll just
Hell
be
yeah.
over.
Can you like fall off the boat and land in the water and drown?
No, I don't think so. But
Damn it.
yeah, but it's like really easy. It makes it really easy. But of course, I didn't know that until after the fact. So I was like, maybe I'll like throw a sleep grenade, and that just freaks him out. So he's zip zopping all over the place.
Do you get like a time paradox if you just fucking murk him?
I didn't try, but I kind of wish I did.
This is payback for all the fist fights on top of Rex, you piece of shit. And just blow his brains out. Yeah, so we should probably. I mean, I definitely feel like I just talked about what it was. Should we talk about who he is?
Yeah, it's Liquid.
It's Baby Liquid.
It's Baby Liquid.
Never be game over.
Never be game over. It's pretty obvious that it's Baby Liquid too.
Yeah, he looks
like-
a lot like Liquid.
Looks and sounds like Liquid. It's very much
Kind of a non-spoiler here. I really wanted a Baby David, but we don't ever get a Baby David.
Yeah. No, never be Baby David.
Oh, I wish we would have gotten like a Baby Cyborg Ninja. I just want a full set of baby characters. We get like Baby Ocelot, like they're like the wind-up minions from Final Fantasy 14.
Oh God.
That'd be so cute. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So I don't think the battle was hard. It was just annoying.
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
a fun
so,
mission. He's a prick. He's a super prick.
Yeah, he's got a boo boo face. He sucks, but yeah, you
I
get
got a real
back to the
Rufio
base.
vibe from him with his get up.
That's great. But yeah, what happens? You get back to base, and Snake says, "Welcome to Outer Heaven," and Eli doesn't like this. Well, we don't know his name is Eli at this point. He's just White Mamba. He tries to attack Snake with a knife. Snake disarms him and takes his knife, and then says there are rules.
You go to your room and you think about what you did.
And then Snake says you never draw a weapon on your fellow soldier, and then pops his arm back into place because he dislocated it. And then he says Mamba's gonna learn how to free his head or use his head, and that he's free to leave when he figures out how to do that. And that's the end of that. And that's the end of part 1. What we're covering here, we
Yay!
extracted Eli.
Very long episode, but boy oh boy, am I fucking glad we did it, because this is great.
Yeah. And the people are going to listen. The people are going to love this shit.
I hope.
I hope they love the long ones. It's fine. 3 hours. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Should we dive into the wrap up stuff since it's
yeah. So
getting
we got
late? I'm a sleepy boy.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of things to talk about here. We've got a brand new patron. I think we thanked it. We said his name on past episode, but this is his 150 word message. It's from Luis Marin Jr.
Hello,
Louis Marin Jr. Louis Marin.
LMJ.
Yeah, LMJ. LMJ says, "Hello, MGM team. I've been a patron for only a few weeks
Hi.
of the time of this post. Hi. And I can honestly say it's definitely been worth it. Thanks for providing great extra content to listen to. It helps me get through the graveyard shifts at my job and always has me laughing. The way I got into podcasts was actually kind of weird. I remember finding a podcast around 2016 when it first started, but for whatever reason, never listened to it. Fast forward to summer 2018, I was on a Metal Gear binge. I was playing 1 through 4 again and was looking at so many videos on YouTube about the series that one day, on my suggestions,
Good
the
old
Safe for Work
YouTube.
trailer, good old YouTube, the Safe for Work trailer for the Phantom Peen from Brazzers channel shows up.
Hold on.
I
What
watched
have you
it-
been looking at? What have you been looking at, LMJ?
Yeah, that's what is the word? Logistics, logarithms,
Algorithms.
algorithms. That's the
I like
algorithms.
logarithms. Jesus.
That's
So
algorithms, bro.
You're saying
You're-
a little mobile dick was happening. Is that what you're saying, LMJ?
You got a little mobile dick. Got a little mobile dick. Got LMJ, you scandalous dog. Got that algorithmic mobile dick.
Oh, no.
Anyway, LMJ continues. I watched it once and was done. And once it was done, I felt kind of disturbed, but then I just laughed it off. A few days later, I stumbled upon the podcast again and see that you guys have done so many episodes since I last remember seeing it. I began to scroll through, and to my surprise, I see episode 50.5, The Phantom
Yes.
Peen. I was
Yes.
cracking up the whole time listening, and since rediscovering the show, I've been an avid listener. I'm looking forward to everything you guys do in the future. Thanks and keep up the good work. P.S. Looking forward to playing online matches with you guys in the Phantom P. Pain.
Yeah, if only
which I
this
guess
was-
is a perfect segue. So thank you for that, LMJ. That's your new nickname, LMJ.
Thank you, sir.
It's a perfect transition into the fact that we are going to be playing some online multiplayer with you guys for Metal Gear Solid 5 if you are so inclined to do so. We're the weekend of April 27th and 28th for patrons. We're going to be playing some Metal Gear Solid 5, so that's going to be for patrons only. May 4th,
And we
the
say
weekend
it's for patrons only just because non-patrons won't be hearing this episode until after that weekend.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So ignore that if you're not a patron. Your dates are May 4th and May 5th. The weekend of May 4th and May 5th. For non-patrons, we're going to be playing some multiplayer with everyone. So check it out. Our goal is for me and Alessio to squad up and
Gears up.
invite some people. Gears up, beers up, 10 cup, teams up, suckers walk. It's been a while since we've done that one. Love it still. Add us on PSN. I am Deadpool Alpha, and Alessio is AC Summerfield.
AC Summerfield. What up?
AC Summerfield.
It's me. It's AC. You know who it is.
It's gonna be kind of first come first serve. The PlayStation parties for chat are 8 only.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Two of those spots are filled up with me and Alessio, obviously. So we have room for 6 other people to play. We are going to do what we can to stream it, either live on PlayStation or on Twitch or something. We'll figure out what we're gonna do. But
Yeah, we'll post it on Facebook and stuff when
yeah, it'll
that
be
weekend comes.
yeah, it'll be on Facebook, facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays. Check that out, and Twitter at Metal Gear Monday. So check that out for
It's been a
updates on
long
this.
time. It's been a long time since I've played MGO, so I'm not sure how many people we can like have in the lobby together. So we'll have to kind of figure
we'll
it
figure
out.
it out. It'll be fine. But yeah, so specific times will vary. We'll get more specific timing out there via Facebook and Twitter. So pay attention to those. But yeah, so check those out. You can, if you want to submit submissions, I guess, for our Outer Op number 2. You have to write in to contact@metalgearmondays.com by the time of release of this episode. Unfortunately, the time of release, Monday, April 29th, is the time of release. That's when you need to get the letters in by. So if you're listening to this in the morning, hurry up, send in your responses. We're going to be also communicating that on social media as well. So just if you have to send it to contact@metalgearmondays.com. It's so much easier to keep track of these responses and comments and stuff like that you want read on the show if you use that contact form. We try to stay very active, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, if you message us on those places, we will respond. But if you want it read on the show, you do got to send it to that contact@metalgearmondays.com via email. We apologize if that is difficult or causes trouble for people, but it's just the easiest way for us to organize everything. So please check that out.
Yay!
And yeah, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays, where as little as $1 will get you, $1 a month will get you something.
Discord and the merch shop.
Yeah, so $1 a month will get you access to our Discord where other patrons kind of are coming in and chatting. I wanted to throw this out there. I threw this out on the Patreon or the Patreon Discord. I got a weird bug up my butt to
Yummy.
Yeah, thank you. To find all of the times in the podcast where the joke blank is the name of my insert genre band. You know what I'm saying? Like we say something weird, it's like, oh, that's the name of my speed metal band. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I fucking love that joke, and I was just like, I want to do a supercut, but I do not want to listen to like 100 and some odd episodes. So I was like, let me throw this out there to the people. And so very quickly, I wanted to throw out some thanks to some patrons that volunteered to help me with that. So Matt Smith, Jamie Christopher, Joshua Wiley, and my best friend Tori Cortez all volunteered to help me out with that. So we split it up into chunks of 20, and we're going to tackle that. So even if it's a fruitless effort, I wanted to shout those guys out for being willing to jump in and help doing that.
Yeah. Can you guys do that on the general feed so it can inflate our numbers?
Yeah, listen to it on the general feed. Yeah, listen to it on the general feed, please. But yeah, so thanks. So, people, we do all kinds of cool stuff like that. We have a chat in there that's all about
We do all
pets.
kinds of cool stuff like farm out work.
Yeah, like farm out work and no, but it's fun. Like we have fun, we chat.
I know,
We've got cool folks in there chatting about stuff, so it's very fun. We also have our $2 tier. You get a completely separate podcast called the Patriot Club, where we just talk about anything.
And you get all the episodes early.
And all the episodes early, yes. And then we've got several other tiers, including tiers that get you Let's Plays and thank you videos, and some tiers even lets you have a monthly video hangout with us if you're into that. So check that out. Right now, if you are a patron, we are running an audition process for our episode 100. We are going to have 3 people on that episode to do some Metal Gear trivia for some fabulous prizes. The top prize
For some
of
Fabula
which
Nova
is,
Crystallis prizes.
no, God, don't tell them that. The top prize, the number 1 prize for this trivia episode is going to be a Play Arts Kai figure of Venom Snake.
Tiger Stripe ice cream cone flavored.
Yep. Which is like retailed at what, Alessio?
I think it's like $250 or something crazy.
Yeah, something nuts. So that's our top prize. Also the ability to guest on any episode of the podcast. So
Yeah, I
that's
think it's
another
2 episodes
prize.
for the first
Two
prize.
episodes, yes. Yeah, so for first place, so that's pretty cool too. If you want to be on the podcast, so as little as $1, just all the patrons are eligible for that. So we need we've had a lot of folks express interest, but we have only gotten 2 submissions, so we need more. The deadline is April 15th.
Yeah, hella early. So, like, literally only patrons, I think, will be able to hear this in time to submit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so
it is what it is. I'll do a quick shout out on social and stuff too. Like
yeah,
next week.
so if you're hearing this and it's past April 15th, sorry.
Yeah, maybe submit anyway, just for shits and giggles if you got a real itch. But
yeah. But yeah, so check that out. You can also go, like I said, facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays, Twitter @Metal Gear Monday, and you can also follow us on Instagram @Metal Gear Mondays, and go to Metal Gear Solid, or not Metal Gear, well, I guess that will get you there, MetalGearMondays.com for all of this in one convenient place.
Alessio, probably gonna throw some links on that website soon. We still haven't come up with a custom URL, but if you guys are looking to help us out, look up Metal Gear Mondays on YouTube. We have a channel.
Yep.
I'm going to be slowly posting all the episodes and all of the videos from our whole backlog, which is quite a bit. I'm going to do all that over time. But eventually, once we have finalized our first full season of Let's Plays for patrons, that will eventually slowly start to trickle out on YouTube as well. So yeah, just look it up on YouTube for now, and once we get that custom URL, we'll let you guys know what it is. I did want to make a mention real quick, speaking of thank you videos. I missed out on the Q1 thank you video for this year, but it's because I'm doing something special, extra special. It's probably going to be like an hour-long video, which sounds crazy, but you'll know why when you see it. So that will come out relatively soon for patrons, so I apologize for the delay, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah. I just want to throw this out there. The YouTube channel. I just looked it up on YouTube. The channel is our podcast logo. The avatar is our podcast logo. The first result that comes up is an episode of Metal Gear Mondays that was uploaded by us. Do not subscribe to that channel. That is the Geek Time channel. That is the old website that is now defunct. Look for the Metal Gear Mondays channel specifically.
Yep. And there should be like only 2 videos, I think, on there right now as of time of recording. Yeah. I think by the time this episode actually airs on the public feed, it'll probably be closer to like 4 or 5 episodes. But anywho, that's a whole project that I need to dig into soon. But yeah, you can follow me at AC Summerfield on Twitter or acsummerfield.com. Gonna start posting more stuff. I'm really close to wrapping up post-production on a pretty kick-ass music video. And if you're in St. Louis, we're gonna be.
I've seen it. It is pretty kick-ass.
We're going to be doing a premiere concert / fundraiser for my next film in St. Louis on the 16th of May. If anybody is in the area or nearby and you want to make a trek and hang out and see some cool bands and drink some beer and watch a video. But I'm also going to be posting a lot of updates for my upcoming film, Are You All Right? Which is like Office Space meets Jacob's Ladder, I think. I think that's a good way to describe it.
And we also... Alessio and Isaac are actually going to be in Seattle for Memorial Day weekend because we're going to go meet Cam Clark and David Hayter at Renton City Retro.
We're gonna try and get those boys to play Metal Gear with us.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. We have committed to on the night of the 25th doing a meetup in Seattle.
Do you have a place that you want to just call out for that?
So, okay.
Do you know of any bars that we could just post up at?
I know of a few. I kind of want to do something in Capitol Hill. So there's a couple places I want to go to the Unicorn. I still have not been to the Unicorn. There's a bar there called the Unicorn that I haven't been to. But do
you want to just call that? Do you want to make that the spot?
Yeah, let's fucking call it. Okay. So what time do you think?
Let's do. Surely the convention stuff's not going to be going super late. So do you want to say like 9?
Yeah, let's say 9. So we're gonna do meetup on what day is that? The 25th, Saturday the 25th at 9, at Unicorn in Seattle. That's 1118 East Pike Street, Seattle, Washington 98122.
Might make a Facebook event too.
Yeah, we'll probably make a Facebook event, but that's your scoop. If you're listening to this, that's where we're gonna meet at 9 on the 25th. So May 25th. So so come check it out. It's gonna be cool. It'll be fun to meet, and the official slogan of the meetup is "Be cool and don't bring a knife."
Yep, and every time I hear it, I just feel a knife entering my rib cage. So,
So
don't
it's gonna
do
be
that.
great. Don't do that. Don't do that. You wouldn't kill Isaac, would you? No, you wouldn't. He's too sweet, and his sweetness will protect me and Alessio. So.
Yeah, we'll stand behind him.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Sanjul. That's SANJUUL, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you already said the PSN. I'm dumb. My brain broke. Yeah, that is it. Sam, if we do get stabbed in Seattle, though, do you know how I'm going to get shipped back to St. Louis?
in a body bag?
No, it's
that
just
suddenly
a box.
jolts up and never moves again.
No, it's just a box.
Just a box.